tonight is the Conference USA Championship game, and Tulsa is in the driver's seat with a 6-1 record, the only remaining undefeated team in league play. UTEP can force a three-way tie for first with a win tonight. The Miners probably out of it with a loss. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Pash alongside Trevor Matich. Rod Gilmore not here tonight. He's on assignment, so to speak. He'll call the Washington State-UCLA game tomorrow on ABC. Tina Dixon will join us here shortly. Well, Tulsa is one of the best non-BCS programs in the country. They're 6-1, 3-0 in conference play, Trev, and they do it in a lot of different ways. Great defense. They're currently 27th in the Associated Press poll because of their defense. Second against the pass, 9th in the country in total defense. They've only given up 4 sacks on offense, and they feel they have one of the best junior quarterbacks in the whole country.
Well, they do. Paul Smith is an outstanding quarterback, not because he's a great athlete, but because he patterns his game after his idol, Joe Montana. Superior knowledge of the offense, relentless efficiency in the short passing game. Now, that's what he brings to it. He is fast in everything he does, and he gets the ball to his playmakers before the defense can react. The NFL opposite of Montana is Brett Favre, slinging the ball far and wide. That high-risk, high-reward style is what UTEP quarterback Jordan Palmer brings to it. He'll throw many more long touchdown passes, but he'll throw more interceptions as well. And Dave, I think this game will be decided by which quarterback style prevails, efficiency or fireworks.
And speaking of fireworks, there have been some fireworks around the Tulsa program this week. Head coach Steve Crackthorpe in the news. And with more on that, we bring in Tina Dixon.
Well, thanks, Dave. And according to several published reports this past week, Coach Steve Crackthorpe has been named as one of the possible candidates to fill that vacant head coaching position at the University of North Carolina. They are looking to replace John Bunting, who was recently let go. Now, I contacted North Carolina's athletic department. They said this is a closed matter and refused to comment any further. I also talked to Steve Crackthorpe, and he said, I haven't talked to anyone at North Carolina. Right now, it is all rumors and conjecture. But Tulsa has made it very clear they are trying to make this a destination job for their coaches and would hate to lose any member of their staff.
Well, Tina, you could certainly understand why Crackthorpe is being courted, or at least reportedly being courted by North Carolina. Before he took over, they were 2-21 in 2 years prior to his arrival. Before Mike Price took over at UTEP, the Miners had a record of 6-30 in a 3-year span. Price has done an excellent job with the Miners, and before the game tonight, he led the team onto the field carrying a Miner pickaxe. But there was one change to that pregame routine. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
Strawberry cheesecake shake is amazing.
I love the real strawberries and the pie crust bits.
I think I'll put a little something on my blog about this. All my fans are going to be very interested in my experience of having this shake.
You mean your mom?
Well, yeah, she's one of the readers.
I think she's the reader.
Well, no, she promised to tell her neighbor about it, so.
Oh, your mom's neighbor.
Yeah.
Strawberry Cheesecake Shake, new at Sonic. The classic taste of rich cheesecake and real strawberries blended in a cup. And now swipe your credit or My Sonic card from your car.
Anything in play we should be looking at?
One stock I'm seeing some early interest in is BENG, trading at 19% retracement from a recent high of 20. Looks like we've just completed the second leg of a bullish ABC up pattern.
Only Power E-Trade Pro gives you upgraded charting, trailing stops, and bracketed orders, all for $6.99 to $9.99 per trade, so you can be ahead of the curve.
That's the way I see it. Back to you.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. And E-Trade Financial.
Back in Tulsa for a showdown in Conference USA between UTEP and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Let's take a look at tonight's menu, which includes talk of the Palmer brothers. Carson, now with the Cincinnati Bengals, former Heisman Trophy winner at USC. His younger brother, Jordan, now quarterbacking UTEP. Rising head coaches perhaps on the mood, and of course our Friday night debate, which will include Rod Gilmore via the telephone from Southern California. Prior to tonight's game, Mike Price brought the Miner pickaxe onto the field for the Miners, but things different this year. Last year he'd take the pickaxe and slam it into the ground on the opponent's turf, but he is not doing that this year, and with more on that, here's Tina Dixon.
Well, Coach, in the past you've had a pick tax and you've always planted it in the ground. This time you did not do it. Why is that?
Well, I just think with the climate of football nowadays, college football, we just got to do everything we can to show sportsmanship. We brought it with us, and we'll have it, but we're not going to plant it in anybody's turf anymore. So I just think, you know, as coaches, we have to keep teaching sportsmanship.
Well, in the conference right now, you're 2-1. Talk about the importance to get a win here for you today.
This is it. This is a championship game for us. Everyone is. It's really important. But this is a really good football team we're playing tonight. But we're going to show up, and we'll do just fine.
Good luck and thanks.
Okay, thanks.
We talk about sportsmanship. He's an old school coach, and he said to us, when was the last time you've heard a coach say to his players, let your pads do the talking? He wants to bring that back.
Reagan Schneider booting it away for UTEP. Nick Graham, the return man for Tulsa. Past the 15-yard line and up around the 21-yard line. He's tackled. From Artie Smith made the stop for UTEP. Tulsa has some terrific impact players on offense, starting with quarterback Paul Smith, who has 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 4 of those have been deflected. Tenile in the backfield, and Idris Moss is an excellent wide receiver, still without a touchdown catch, though, this year.
The Moss acrobatic catches. He's a human highlight reel with how he goes up and catches those balls. Reminds of Lynn Swan and Courtney Tenale. Critical to the passing game working. If he can keep UTEP's defense honest with the run, Smith should be able to connect.
28 catches for Moss, former UCLA Bruin. More on that as we go along tonight. Shotgun formation on 1st down and 10 from the Tulsa 21-yard line. And it's a quick toss out in the flat to Moss. Blockers in front, past the 35, and out to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 18 and a 1st down. The Golden Hurricane is number 1 in the country in sacks allowed. They've given up just 4, and they have a veteran group up front. 4 seniors and 1 sophomore on that offensive line.
And that offensive line, very effective. Tulsa, the best team in the nation at fewest sacks allowed.
The only sophomore is Justin Morsey. They run it. Dexter Taylor, a true freshman, on 1st down and 10, and he picks up what appears to be another 1st down as he takes it over to the far side before Jason McQuay made the stop for UTEP. Great start for Tulsa offensively. We talked about some terrific impact players they have in offense, but it starts with Paul Smith, who is from Oklahoma, grew up about 13 miles from the Tulsa campus. He's completing close to 70% of his passes on the year. Was the MVP of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl last year when Tulsa won 9 games and the Conference USA Championship. Pump fake. Smith with time, tucks and runs and dives for the 47-yard line. He got about 3 on the play. Braxton Amy made the tackle. UTEP defensively is 115th defending the pass, but the secondary has 9 interceptions, and safety Quentin Demps has 5 of those. He's joined by Ferguson, Pluskowski, and Tisdale in the secondary.
They do all the big things really well. They get a lot of turnovers back there, but the little things they don't get, and Paul Smith will seek to exploit those weaknesses.
They give up 269 yards passing per game. The turnover margin has been good this year. They're +4 after going -10 last year. Talking about UTEP. Here's a running play on 2nd down and 6. Courtney Tenale gets the call, and he comes up about 1.5 yards shy of the 1st down. Tenale with 7 rushing touchdowns this year. He's a transfer from Oklahoma.
Tulsa having a terrific season this year. They're only lost to a very good BYU team, and Steve Cragthorpe has got them now in position to be the favorite to win a 2nd consecutive Conference USA championship.
That's amazing, Trev, the job that he's done with this program. It's a big reason why there are reports circulating that he might be a candidate for the North Carolina job. I talked with one NFL general manager, former NFL general manager, before the game, says he would be shocked if Cragthorpe is here next year because he thinks there'll be other schools interested in him as well. 1st down carry for Tenale down to the 36-yard line. 5 snaps for Tulsa's offense and 3 1st downs.
You see the efficiency. Steve Cragthorpe teaches use the entire field and do it without making mistakes. You notice that the very first play was a pass to the left sideline. Then the next play was a toss to the right sideline. Now they're attacking up the middle. And so you see how he has done based on the games that he has coached. It has been a spectacular turnaround.
First down from the 36-yard line. Paul Smith out of shotgun. And it's an inside running play to Dials. And another good gain on first down to the 29. That's a 7-yard pickup. Tackled by Joe Ward. Take a look at the resume for Steve Kragthorpe. Prior to taking over as head coach here at Tulsa, he spent 2 years in the NFL, quarterback coach with the Buffalo Bills. And he was offered to coach Drew Bledsoe like he did in Buffalo with the Dallas Cowboys in the offseason to be their passing game coordinator to take over for Sean Payton, who took the New Orleans Saints head job. But he turned that down, saying that when he was in the NFL, he didn't get a chance to spend enough time with his family. And that's why he wants to stay in college. On the 2nd and 3, another handoff. This time it's Tenale breaking tackles. And finally down at the 21. Troy Calavo, the leading tackler for UTEP, will get credited with the stop after a run of about 10 yards.
This offensive line gets so much credit for allowing the fewest sacks in the nation, but they also do an outstanding job of sustaining their blocks. Nobody is really driven down the field, but nobody can get off the blocks of those offensive linemen, and that's why the hole is there when the cutback is made.
We talked about this being a veteran group, 4 seniors, 1 sophomore. 4 first downs on this drive for Tulsa. First down from the 21. Handoff off the left side. And down to the 15-yard line is Courtney Tenale. Calavo on the tackle again.
Well, this style of offense lends perfectly to Paul Smith's strengths. He's not a guy that'll throw the ball deep. And Mike Price has to make sure that his defense stops the run early in order to be able to keep Smith from being at his most effective.
We talked about the turnaround job that Steve Kragthorpe's done at Tulsa. How about Mike Price at UTEP? 3 straight 2-win seasons prior to his arrival 2 years ago. He went 8-4 in 2004, 8 wins last year, struggling a bit this year at 4-3, 2-1 in conference play. But they can tie for first in their division if they win this game tonight. Quick pass out into the flat. Ryan Bugg on the catch, and he's going to lose yardage. Tackled back at the 18-yard line by Braxton Amy.
Mike Price really had a similar job to rebuild as Steve Kragthorpe has done. And he said when he first got there, this team was beaten down. For years, everybody had told them how terrible they were. Their girlfriends were telling them they were a terrible team. And the first thing he needed to do was change the way they thought about themselves and inject fun into football again. And he did that. And as the game goes on, we'll talk about some of the things he did to make it fun again, and that helped bring back the wins again.
10th play of this Tulsa drive that's taken almost 5 minutes off the clock. 3rd down and 7. Smith dumps it off to Tenale, tackled at the 15-yard line. About 4 yards shy of the first down, and Tulsa will have to settle for a field goal attempt on 4th down at about 4.
Well, the stunning lineman comes in. Paul stumbles as he throws, but note that he knew exactly where the outlet was, and even though he was falling down, he got the ball there accurately.
So Jared Tracy, who's 4 out of 5 on the year on field goals, will come on for a 33-yard attempt. His career long is 41. This officially will be a 32-yard try by Tracy. And the kick is good. Long drive by Steve Kragthorpe's Golden Hurricane. They come up with 3 points. UTEP will get a chance on offense if we come back.
Wield their powers. Feel their fury. Fight for justice. When the world needs heroes, no one else is in their league. Justice League Heroes. Rated Teen.
Balayé, oublié,
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
He came from nothing and redefined the American dream.
I buried those cockroaches!
His enemies wanted him dead.
Say hello to my little friend!
But Tony Montana doesn't die that easy. Tony's back. Scarface, the world is yours. Rated M for mature.
Every dog has his day.
The champagne glasses may seem familiar, but you've never seen a car virtually park itself. The new LS, unprecedented, at your Lexus dealer.
Introducing the new Family Value Meal from Pizza Hut. Start with 2 medium pizzas topped any way you want them. Add breadsticks and cinnamon sticks and a 2-liter of Pepsi, all for $19.99. You always get more when you go for the good stuff.
Back in Tulsa, 3-0 Golden Hurricane after an 11-play drive resulting in a 32-yard field goal. Well, the Tulsa players did something today that not a lot of schools do on the day of a game. They went to class, Trev.
It keeps them focused. Steve Krafthorpe says it puts them in the same rhythm they're in during the day. They're used to this rhythm, and there's nothing on daytime television that they would like anyway.
Again, in our travels, we find often that kids are not going to school on Friday, taking the day off to stay in the hotel, look at film, and go through meetings, but not Tulsa today. Short kick. Johnny Lee Higgins, who is a terrific return man, gets wrapped up at the 25-yard line. Steve Craver made the stop. Jordan Palmer is the UTEP quarterback, and he's one of the Miners' impact players.
Well, he's got the arm to throw it deep down the field and the speed in Johnny Lee Higgins to get there. He runs a 4.2 40. He's a track champion and has a great camaraderie on the field with Jordan Palmer. These two guys are the key to this offense.
Yeah, 9 total touchdowns for Johnny Lee Higgins this year, including 2 punt returns for scores. Palmer leads the 11th rated pass offense in the country. And they've got a first down from their 25. The key for UTEP is, can it run the ball? They do give it to Marcus Thomas on first down, and he does not get much, maybe a half a yard. And they have really struggled to run the ball this year, averaging 30 yards rushing per game on the road. So in the middle of that offensive line with Smith, Felix Riley, and Marcus Thomas, a very talented back, they've got to find a way to run the ball today, Trev.
They do, and right up the middle, nose guard Terrell Nemmons, number 99, 345 pounds. Those 3 interior offensive linemen will have their hands full.
Officially no gain on first down for Marcus Thomas, who's a big back, 6'1", 220-pound junior from Phoenix, Arizona. Palmer's first pass, and he's going for Thomas out of the backfield. Up to the 28, gain of 3, spun down by Nick Bunting. UTEP spectacular passing the football, but really bad rushing, and that was not the case last year.
No, last year Tyler Ebell was a spark plug as a running back, and this year they've really struggled. And even when they tried to add a new wrinkle, which was the shotgun runs with quarterback Lawrence Sands, he got hurt, and now they're back to square one again.
We might see another quarterback in the game for UTEP for that shotgun running play. Clearly a passing situation here on 3rd down and 6. Play clock winding down. Palmer with time, going deep. There's a man open, but it's incomplete. Intended for Chris Morrow. Didn't seem that he could get a beat on the pass of Jordan Palmer. 3 and out for UTEP.
Well, a deep passing game requires timing, and that time safety Kendrick Alexander knocked Morrow down. As he throws this ball off to the right, you'll see Morrow gets knocked down, then he gets back up, and that's why he's just late getting to the sideline and the mesh point with that football.
Ryan Hotchkiss to punt it away to Idris Moss, averaging 7 yards a punt return. Not a good kick. And Tulsa will have decent field possession starting at its 35-yard line. 44-yard punt, no return. Paul Smith back to work when we come back.
Excuse me. So what exactly are you guys?
Sneakers, baby. Vintage 1985 high tops, limited edition. Old school.
Wow, you guys sound pretty cool.
You know how I roll.
So how's the postal carrier going to handle all you guys?
It's all good. The lady drives a big truck.
Wow.
With lots of room in the truck, the post office comes to you with free package pickup.
From the man who brought fantasy to life comes a hair product born into reality. Beauty has a face, perfection a name. And now, you can experience a shampoo worthy of only one man's name.
Life comes at you fast. Are you ready for retirement? Get ready with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
I run like pretty much every day, a few miles, so when I first started running, it's always, you know, people say like, oh, it's very therapeutic and you know, a stress reliever, which is true. You know, it's just you and your thoughts. But I got really sick of myself like pretty quick. And so if you don't have music to listen to, that's a really long time to run. I'm Jimmy Callahan, and this is what I found at Sears.
Pressure, enemy of engines. Enemy of pressure, Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic, with adaptive molecules that continually join forces to help conquer pressure. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by the United States Postal Service. Let your packages know their ride is here. Request a pickup at USPS.com. And ESPN Game Plan, maximum college football. To order, call your pay-per-view provider or log on to ESPN.com, search Game Plan.
There is Trevor Mattich's lunch, dinner, and breakfast. Pumpkin pie for the next week.
Yeah, pumpkin pie. Those things don't look nearly as good as they taste when you eat them.
3-0 Tulsa. That pumpkin on the right was done by my 8-year-old Josh Hoffman. Our producer did the one on the left.
Hard to tell which is which, huh? The talented 8-year-old.
First down from the 35, and a fumble back at the 25-yard line. Paul Smith able to recover. That's a loss of about 9 on the play. Tried to hand it off to Courtney Tenale.
Well, this is sort of anti what Paul Smith is all about. He's very efficient. He doesn't make mistakes. And as you look here, he pulls it out, and Tenale bumps it. He's a little closer to Tenale than he thought he was, and it's just a bump. Could have been a big mistake if not for the quick thinking of Smith to jump on that football.
Smith has not made many mistakes. 5 interceptions all year, and 4 of those were on deflections. Second down and 18. Smith to the air. Looking for Corey Kaiser. Caught at the 33. Got 6 yards back. Brian Tisdale on the tackle. Tomorrow night on ESPN at 7:45. It's number 8 Tennessee taking on Steve Spurrier and South Carolina. Spurrier against Philip Fulmer, the Tennessee head coach, with a record of 8-3. Can he do it again tomorrow night? Our primetime game on ESPN.
South Carolina knocked them off in Knoxville last year. The Volunteers have a lot to prove.
Third down and 12 from the 33. Smith with time. Incomplete. Throws it through the hands of Moss at the 47-yard line. 3 and out for Tulsa, but it started badly on that drive with the fumble by Smith.
Well, both defenses are on top of it right now. UTEP's defense knows that Smith is going to hit the short and medium passing lane, so they're flooding them right now. Smith is having trouble finding consistent completions. On the other side, we saw on a 3rd and medium, Jordan Palmer throw a deep ball. And Tulsa's defense has been on top of that. Right now, the win goes to the defenses.
Look out for Johnny Lee Higgins. That would lead the NCAA if he had enough attempts. 33 yards per return. He's had 2 touchdowns and 1 that almost was. He stepped out of bounds. Reversing his field. Tulsa trying to cut off the outside lane, and they get to him at the 22-yard line. Nice play by Kyle Grooms in the open field to take down Higgins. Well, the last 2 meetings between these 2 schools have been excellent. Both came down to a kick. Brandon Dials scoring from the 5 for his 2nd touchdown. UTEP had a chance late in the game, but a missed 56-yard field goal by Regan Schneider. And Tulsa wins at 37-35. Last year, 3:41 remaining. Jordan Palmer to Chris Francis, now with the Green Bay Packers. 23-yard touchdown. And then Schneider hits the game-winning field goal, this time a 23-yarder, as UTEP wins it by 3. And that was the only time in the game that UTEP led. Can the Miners do it 2 years in a row? And can they do it on the road? They went 3 and out on offense their first drive. They'll start at the 21 this time. Palmer finds Higgins, and he is stood up by Roy Roberts at about the 25-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
Well, he saw a blitz coming off the right side, changed the play, threw it out to Higgins on the left. That's good quarterbacking by Jordan Palmer, avoiding the blitz. Now, off the right side, there comes the blue jersey. Not even blocked. Ball's out before he can get there.
And now Palmer's lining up as a wide receiver. We told you we might see another quarterback. James Thomas, a true freshman, is into the game at quarterback, and he will run it on 2nd down. And Tulsa not fooled. Only 2 yards on the play, swallowed up by Anthony Germany.
Well, this is that wrinkle we talked about that they inserted a few games ago with Lorne Sam at quarterback. The standard running game was going absolutely nowhere. Sam got in and ran a play like that. The read option, quarterback draws, quarterback leads, but then he got hurt. So now Thomas is trying to provide that same spark. Didn't work that time.
It did get reported in one of the newspapers that UTEP was going to do that, and apparently Tulsa did its homework reading the papers. 3rd down and 4. Palmer with time. And it's a 1st down catch out of the 34-yard line. Johnny Lee Higgins showing he doesn't just have speed, that he's willing to go over the middle and make a tough catch, knowing that he's going to get smacked. And he did that time by Kedrick Alexander.
Yeah, he is not a big guy. He is incredibly quick, and it's hard to hit him this hard on a tackle, because most of the time, if you come that hard, he will juke you.
48 catches now on the year for Johnny Lee Higgins. He is 4th in the country in receiving yards per game. 106 receiving yards a contest for Higgins. He's a senior. Should be a high draft pick in April. And here he gets another catch out of the 47-yard line. Picks up 13 yards. And a 1st down. Grabbed at the ankles and brought down by Nick Grant. Tulsa number 2 against the pass, but struggling on this drive. They give up just 121 yards per game passing. They are 9th in total defense. And let's take a look at the starting defense for Tulsa. They play a 3-3-5. And those 3 safeties, Alexander, Blackshire, and Germany, will have their hands full today, and they have so far.
Yeah, and Johnny Lee Higgins is the one they'll have their hands full with, because they will need to know where he's lined up so they can rotate their coverage to support the corner that has the task of shadowing Higgins.
3 catches on the day already for Johnny Lee Higgins, and a 1st down at the 48-yard line. Palmer looking to set up the screen to Thomas, and Thomas barrels past the 45 to the 43. Good pickup of about 8 on 1st down.
Well, this is good play calling. The expectation from Tulsa is that Palmer will try to sling it way down the field. He's only really attempted 1 deep pass. So they have been running a very efficient, almost Tulsa-like offense so far.
And an injured Tulsa linebacker, Nick Bunting, who was in on the tackle, is being looked at the Tulsa 42-yard line.
Nick Bunting is the glue on this defense. He's the one that holds it all together. He came in as a freshman 4 years ago and started, even though he was too small, he was too slow, but he was all football play. And he parlayed that into one of the key guys to turn this program around. And it's good to see him up, and it looks like he's okay.
Jordan Palmer looks okay after a 3-and-out on UTEP's opening drive. He has done very well in the passing game on this drive. 5 out of 6 for the game. And a 2nd and 1 at the 43 of Tulsa. Palmer changing the play. The play clock now at 2. Quick drop for Palmer. And he has Johnny Lee Higgins again. That's the 3rd first down catch by Johnny Lee Higgins at the 35. Pushed out by Graham. That's enough to move the sticks again.
Well, they're really playing on the edge. Take a look at this. One-on-one coverage. The only safety is way over here. That's why Jordan Palmer changed the play. He thought if he could get the ball to Higgins, if you broke one tackle, there'd be a long ways to run.
4 grabs already for Higgins. 7th play of this UTEP drive coming up from the 35. And it's a handoff to true freshman Donald Buckrum, wrapped up behind the line at the 36 by Robert Latou.
Buckram, the speed back, Latou is going to get penetration, and that's why he's able to get up here. This play is designed to get to the corner, and Latou is in the backfield. And before Buckram can get back to the line of scrimmage, Latou takes away what he was looking for, which is a cut up the seam.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Palmer back to the air, and again to his favorite target, Johnny Lee Higgins. At the 27, got 9 on the play. Taken down by Roy Roberts.
Well, this time they lined him up on the left. And again, it's press man coverage. Roberts does not want him to go inside, and Higgins gets there anyway.
If you're UTEP at this point, do you eschew the run altogether? They haven't been able to stop the passing game, talking about Tulsa's defense, but you still have to mix it up.
You still have to mix it up because you can't allow this defense just to tee off on the pass alone.
8 of their 11 plays so far have been pass plays. Only 1 rushing yard and 3 attempts. Thomas on the carry, and he is going to get taken down very close to the marker at the 25. Nice play by Karatapian. Let's see where they mark it.
And Dave, that's a good question. Because early in the season, when the running game went nowhere, the coaches started to get away from the run a little earlier than they really should have, as they themselves say in hindsight. And so they're going to stick with it as long as they can.
UTEP is short, so it will go on 4th down and 1. Now a timeout.
Tulsa. First time out of the half.
Well, Tulsa's given up only 7 first-quarter points all year, trying to keep UTEP scoreless in the first quarter tonight.
Don't forget about us, TV.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
It's a new NBA. A new generation of players who are driven by one thing. The desire to win. The NBA on ESPN returns with a doubleheader of playoff rematches. The Wizards and Cavaliers revive last year's dramatic shootout. Then the Clippers look for revenge against the Suns. The NBA on ESPN returns Wednesday. Wizards Cavaliers and Clippers Suns. Coverage begins at 7.
Deep in the heart of the desert, a revolution is underway. A revolution of speed and grace. A revolution of power and brute force. A revolution that must be won. You're in Coyotes country, and we will not be denied.
Coyotes versus Rangers on Saturday, October 28th. Get a Centex Home Family Pack presented by the Arizona Republic. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for only $79. You're in Coyotes country.
You could be driving a Honda.
It's the Rocktober sales event at Showcase Honda.
Rocket!
And Rocktober means rockin' super savings like a quart for the price of Civics with AC, automatic power windows and locks.
Power windows and locks! The star is ready!
John, everyone knows the cars are the stars at Showcase Honda.
On 15th Street and Camelback.
Visit showcasehonda.com or call 1-800-NEW-HONDA.
You could be driving a Honda. You want to be in my video?
The 80s are over, John.
UTEP kicker Reagan Schneider has made his last 7 field goals. He has excellent range, but UTEP is not going to try a 44-yard field goal. Instead, the Miners throw for it on 4th and 1, and they're going with an empty backfield and 5 wide receivers. Quarterback keep by Palmer, trying to back his way past the marker for the first down. It looks like on the second effort he got it. Terrell Nimmons made the initial hit, and it looked like Palmer just peeled off of him and got the necessary yardage.
He's a lot bigger than any of his running backs. He's 6'5", 235, and he was initially stopped. When you go right at Terrell Nimmons, there's just not a whole lot of expectation of success. But he kept driving, and that bulk for a quarterback got them the yard.
And here they're going to send Palmer out as a wide receiver again and bring James Thomas into the game once again at quarterback. First down at the 24 of Tulsa. Thomas to the 21 and spun down there. He only got 2 yards in his first carry, picks up 3 that time. Tackled by Walter Boyd. So UTEP elects to go for it on 4th down. They get it, move the sticks. They're down 3 after 1 quarter.
The Patriots battle the Vikings at 8:30 on ESPN Monday Night Football.
Here's to men, to guys who want to spend more time having fun and less time in the men's room. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like frequently waking up at night to go, going often, going urgently, weak stream. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4-FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
How do you feel tonight? Yeah, look, I mean, you looked good. You looked like you were working.
You were fooled.
Every time I dunk.
Drop 30, 40. It fooled you.
Because you believe that was about me. While I believe phase 5, baby. But you're not a fool, are you?
When you make your living strapped to a 2,000-pound bull, you not only got to be tough, you got to be quick on your feet. That's what's so cool about my new Yamaha Grizzly 700. It's not only tough, it's the only ATV with electric power steering and fuel injection. The new Grizzly 700 FI ain't nothing tougher.
Now get a free 2-year warranty plus a $400 Warren winch for just $69.95.
Yeah. I know.
No.
Oh. I see. Yeah, great.
Well, she wants a KFC famous bowl. You know, layers of her favorites. Mashed potatoes, corn, chicken, gravy, and cheese, all in a bowl.
Try new KFC Famous Bowls, freshly prepared with our home-style mashed potatoes, layered with sweet corn, all-white meat, crispy chicken, and topped with our signature gravy and 3-cheese blend. Dig into great layers of flavor with KFC Famous Bowls.
The hotter the hot, the colder the cold, the greater the demand, the more you need Duralast batteries built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of the smallest NCAA Division 1A school in the country, the University of Tulsa, less than 3,000 undergraduate students in 2005. And Tulsa with a 3-0 lead over UTEP after 1 quarter of play. First place in the Western Division of Conference USA on the line. If Tulsa wins, it goes to 4-0. And if UTEP wins, we'll have a three-way tie atop the West, along with Houston at 3-1. 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line for UTEP's offense. Thomas on the carry. And the best run of the day for Thomas inside the 25, or inside the 20 rather, to the 19-yard line, about 4 on the play, tackled by Bobby Blackshot.
They're staying with the run. They don't want to abandon that because they will win this game ultimately with the pass. But by doing what they're doing, it allows them to set up play-action pass, and it forces the defense to focus on the line of scrimmage, which should give Jordan Palmer time.
13th play of the drive. That's Tulsa's play selection. UTEP has decided to throw more passes than running plays. Palmer hit, and the pass incomplete. Back at the 25-yard line, Chris Chamberlain drilled Palmer, and it's 4th down.
Well, this was an all-out blitz. Coming from this side, and he's looking for the man coverage there with Joe West. But watch Joe West, bottom of the screen. He falls down while Jordan's looking at it. And that's what allows the blitz time to get there.
Now a 36-yard field goal try by Reagan Schneider, who's made his last 7. Trying to tie the game at 3. And he just gets it off, and it is good. So we're even at 3 early in the 2nd quarter. Each team with long drives that end in field goals.
Well, this almost gets blocked. It's a fast operation. And even so, it almost gets blocked. Now, Schneider will get the ball off in 1.2 seconds, which is really fast for a field goal kicker. And that's really what saved him from getting it blocked.
And Graham blocked a point after in overtime against Navy in a game earlier this season. Tulsa won that game. It looked there like Graham may have jumped too soon, like he was almost already past where the trajectory of the ball would have been.
Well, it was a short corner. The guys on the edges need to make him run a little bit longer to get around that edge.
Early 2nd quarter, the game tied at 3. We're at Skelly Stadium, which opened back in 1930. It was renovated back in 1965. They have decent facilities here at Tulsa, and they are getting better. We'll tell you more about that as we go along tonight.
A lot at stake in this game. If Tulsa can win, they are absolutely in the driver's seat for the West Division. If UTEP wins, they're still alive. And even though they lost to Houston last week, they still can win their division. So this game now is huge for both teams.
Idris Moss back to receive Schneider's kick, standing at the 5-yard line. Moss past the 20 and tackled at the 30-yard line. Dumped by Buckram. Paul Smith has been very good so far for Tulsa.
He has. He's been very efficient. We talked about how he patterns himself after Joe Montana. He doesn't see anything downfield, so he pulls it down and runs. He doesn't make the big mistake. He knows where his playmakers are, and he gets them the ball very quickly.
Was an excellent high school quarterback. He holds the Oklahoma State high school passing record. Very good sophomore season, which ended with most valuable player honors in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Trying to lead Tulsa to its 2nd straight Conference USA championship. Teneo on the carry on 1st and 10, out to the 33 for 3 yards. Joe Ward made the stop.
You talk about what a great high school player he was. His father was a high school coach. And at Midwest City High School, before Paul ever played, he was a little kid. His dad coached quarterbacks Mike Gundy and Cale Gundy. Mike now the head coach at Oklahoma State. Cale now an assistant at Oklahoma. Those guys were winning state championships, and Paul, just in being around them, learned how to be a quarterback, how to throw the ball away, how to not make the big mistake.
Smith on 2nd down and 7. Little flanker screen. Past the 35-yard line is Kaiser, and the ball is fumbled at the 36. And Kaiser got it back for Tulsa. It seems that Paul Smith is just as involved in the community as he is with the football program. Heavily involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Does about 20 to 25 speaking engagements a year. Plays the guitar and leads praise and worship during the FCA meetings. And he's engaged to be married to the captain of the women's soccer team in March.
How about those children? The star quarterback and the captain of the soccer team. That'll be like Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf.
3rd down and 4 for Smith, who's in the shotgun on the 36. Smith moving around in the pocket, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Dexter Taylor. 4th down, and Tulsa will have to boot it away.
An excellent job. Defense of Tulsa, of UTEP, knowing where Smith wants to go with the ball. Scouting him, understanding he's not going to try to force it into coverage down the field. There were 2 guys around his intended receiver at the 1st down line.
Back for his 2nd punt return attempt is Johnny Lee Higgins. Here's Kindred to boot it away. Higgins with 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year. Won't even get an opportunity. A great kick. It just hopped out at the 17. Had it stayed in bounds for one more hop, it might have been down inside the 10-yard line. 3-3 contest early 2nd quarter in Tulsa.
If you decide to quit smoking, there are things you should know that can greatly increase your chances for success. To learn about them, visit Quit Assist Online, a free resource that links you to a wealth of expert quitting information, including tools and tips that have worked for others. Because the more you know about how to quit, the better your chances for success. Quit Assist. Log on through philipmorrisusa.com.
Hey, I'm Mark Horowitz. I just got myself a brand new Nissan Sentra. The dealer said I could pretty much live out of this car, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little difficult because I'm probably going to start to get some funk under here, you know. I'm going to live out of this car for the next 7 days. Got a lot of stuff, man. How did I get all this stuff? Stick around. This is going to get interesting.
For those who love cashews, there's new Planters Cashew Lovers Mix. 50% cashews, 100% love.
I am innocent. Catch the action.
What kind of man are you?
Catch the heroism.
You still want to go on?
I want to go on. Catch the fire.
I'm ready to die. Gentlemen!
Based on a true story, Catch a Fire. Rated PG-13.
Today I will earn reward points in more ways than ever before. And I will do it while Victor tries to distract me. First, I get points for using my Citibank debit card. Next, I get points for my Citi mortgage. Now my greatest secret, points for using my Citi Premier Pass credit card. Istanbul, please. No madness can stop Citi's many rewarding ways. Victor, pull yourself together. Rewarding. Very, very, very rewarding.
Well, the most popular brother combination in the National Football League, Peyton and Eli Manning. Peyton obviously played his college ball at the University of Tennessee. Eli at Ole Miss. Great quarterbacks in college and now in the NFL. And could there be another great brother combination in the future for the National Football League? Carson Palmer, who's having another fine season with the Cincinnati Bengals. His younger brother, Jordan Palmer, a senior, expected to be drafted in the first 3 rounds in April. Quarterbacking UTEP. He's a senior and is a first down back at his 17. Game tied at 3. We asked Jordan about what he and Carson talk about. They said, we don't talk football 24/7 like the Mannings do. Hand off to Thomas off the right side. He gets pasted after a gain of 1 by Terrell Nimitz. And with about another 500 yards or so, the Palmer brothers will pass the Manning brothers in terms of most yards by Division 1A quarterback brothers.
Jordan said that they do talk about football, but they'd rather talk about video games or girls or just normal things that brothers talk about. He said that we're not football-playing brothers. We're brothers who also play football.
2nd down and 9 for Palmer and company at the 18-yard line. Play action, Palmer in trouble, and does a great job to get rid of it and complete it to tight end Jake Sears to the 22, 4-yard pickup. Let's bring in Tina Dixon for more on the Palmer boys.
Well, you guys are talking about Carson and Jordan, and I asked Jordan earlier, how would you describe your relationship with Carson? He said, well, Carson's 4 years older than me, so when I was younger, it was like the little brother tag along with the older brother. But as we got older and playing football, we do relate on that level, but we'd rather play a round of golf than discuss coverages. Now, they do talk during the season, only a couple times, but it's the off season that they get to spend more time together.
And a big 3rd down and 3 here for Jordan Palmer at the 24-yard line. Palmer looking for Higgins. Great catch by Higgins. He bounces off of one man and finally spun out a play at the 46-yard line by Roberts.
Well, Palmer's got something you can't teach in that size. He's 6'5", 235. Here comes the blitz right up the middle. He stands in and has the vision to find Higgins and lay the ball in where he can reach up and grab it. That's that connection that those two have. They're best of friends. They play games together. They hang out together. And now they connect together.
Higgins bounced off of Kedrick Alexander for a 22-yard gain. 1st down from the 46. Back to the ground game, which once again goes nowhere. Robert Latou with the tackle on Thomas, 1 yard downfield. What was more impressive to you on that, the throw by Palmer or the catch by Higgins, who again shows he's not afraid to hang in there and take a shot?
Now, Dave, that's it for me. It's the courage of Higgins, because he had to reach up with 2 defenders near him. They knew that Higgins would be the primary target. They were there, and yet he exposed his rib cage by reaching.
2nd down and 9 now at the 47. Palmer with time, going deep for Robinson inside the 20-yard line. Robinson makes a move, and down at the 15. Blackshire with the tackle as Jordan Palmer throws a strike downfield.
Well, Dave, we talked about Jordan's size. Again, they're blitzing him. Tulsa wants to pressure him, and they have. But look what happens as he releases this ball. He steps into it and then gets hit. He's not at all worried about those guys. And see how accurate the ball was, even though he had 2 guys in his face that made contact with him after the release.
Blackshire actually stripped the ball, but Robinson fell on it. 1st down at the 15-yard line. See if Palmer looks for Higgins on this play. Already 6 connections so far. Running play. Thomas, big hole, inside the 5. Touchdown, UTEP. Their best running play of the day, and it goes for 6.
Well, Dave, that's why you stay with the run. And this is what the coaching staff didn't do as well as they would have liked earlier in the season. When the run didn't work, they went away from it. Now they're staying with it, and it paid off on that play.
Fifth rushing touchdown this year for Thomas. Schneider on for the point after. And UTEP drives the length of the field. Jordan Palmer with some terrific throws on that drive. Marcus Thomas gets the touchdown, and UTEP has a 7-point lead.
Hey, it's me, Mark, still living out of my Sentra for 7 days. Today, I'm gonna put this bad boy to the test. I got my golden deer, my Barbie, my gnome, toast. None of my CDs moved, my soda didn't spill, one tie fell off the hanger, but it's a silk tie. Those things always fall off the hanger. Not too shabby. My next generation Nissan Sentra.
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's a textural taste sensation. To get crunchy, chewy, and cheesy, think outside the bun. Introducing the new HP Blade System C-Class with Thermalogic, Virtual Connect, and Insight Control, powered by dual-core Intel Xeon processors. Now you can contain the chaos and set IT free to drive your business.
In all the world, there are a select few who at their very core are capable of incredible transformation. Under the most grueling conditions, they are shaped, hardened, sharpened, ready to stand among the most elite of all warriors, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Our mission is to get in, kidnap Damien.
This Monday, the best Mission Impossible yet is even better on DVD. Execute. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 3. Buy it on DVD this Monday. Also available in high definition.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. And Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
Back in Tulsa, where the road team has a 7-point lead, thanks to Marcus Thomas's touchdown run, 10-3 Miners. And again, with a win tonight, they will tie Tulsa for the top spot in the Western Division of Conference USA. Our Sonic scoring drive, Jordan Palmer did most of the work, 3 out of 3, 66 yards on that drive.
And that one long pass is that vintage Jordan Palmer that we talked about. The Brett Favre style, high risk, high reward, sling the ball deep.
Jordan was not heavily recruited out of high school, which is very different from his brother Carson, who played at USC and won the Heisman Trophy. Nick Graham scoops it up and then gets leveled at the 22-yard line. Emery Spence with a big hit.
Palmer was very efficient. He almost looked like his counterpart, Paul Smith, distributing the ball to short passes and making it happen that way. But then he had long passes down the field. You see Johnny Lee Higgins here, a nice catch and run, but it was the long passes that keyed the scoring drives. The efficiency was fine, but the big chunks led to the points.
And now the Palmer brothers have overtaken the McCown boys for second all-time most passing yards among brother quarterbacks in college football. Play fake for Smith on first down, and he's going deep. And what a great attempt by Moss. He almost had it at the 28-yard line, covered downfield by Tisdale, but it's incomplete.
Now we saw Jordan Palmer going against form by throwing it short. Now we see Paul Smith throwing it to Moss deep. This is what we expect from Palmer. Now he slows down here, and if he doesn't slow down, if he runs one extra step before he stops and turns, he makes that catch.
That would have been a tougher catch earlier when the wind was whipping, about 20-mile-an-hour winds earlier, but no wind right now. And we've had no flags blowing on the goalpost and no flags being thrown on the field. No penalties yet in this game. Second down and 10. Play action for Smith. Trying to get to the outside. Calavo's got him the ball. Fumble at the 23-yard line. And it's UTEP football. Emery Spence comes out of there with it for Mike Price's squad. That's the second fumble today by Smith. He recovered his first miscue, not this time.
And a rare critical mistake by Smith. All he tries to do is make a play. His right arm, he'll reach out to try to stiff-arm Calavo. But in doing so, he doesn't have the ball tucked away. And that is very much unlike his style and what made him a conference champion quarterback last year.
Well, you heard Mike Price tell Tina Dixon just prior to kickoff, this is a championship game for us. And they are playing with that sense of urgency on both sides of the ball. Can they capitalize with a touchdown after the turnover? Palmer gets away from one man. And he just tucks and gets out of play. And he picks up a yard, pushed out of play by Karatapian. 9:06 to go in the second quarter here in Tulsa at Skelly Stadium. The Golden Hurricane just out of the top 25. If they win today, they could be ranked next week. Dave Pash, Trevor Manich, Tina Dixon with you. Actually, when the first BCS rankings were released, Tulsa was 25th in the standings, but not this past week. UTEP with already 149 yards of total offense to just 74 for Tulsa. Here's Thomas on second down, and he gets to the 16. UTEP doing a much better job the last 5-6 minutes, Trev, running the ball, something they have not been able to do this year on the road.
Well, Tulsa's defense is outstanding against the pass. They've been average against the run. And so this is partly game planning for them. You take what the defense will give, and even though UTEP has struggled running the ball this year, the running game is something they wanted to try against the softest part of this defense.
In 3 road games prior to tonight, UTEP with a total of 90 rushing yards. They have 34 so far in this game. Big third down and 2. Thomas gets it, and he is nowhere near the first down marker. Stood up by Karatapian at the 17-yard line. He may have lost a yard on the play.
This is a rare blitz by Tulsa. They normally play it safe. They don't blitz much, but they expected that play. Watch everybody, 8 blue jerseys are going to hit the line of scrimmage right there. You've got defenders on top of defenders, sometimes 2 to a gap. That was great anticipation.
Well, Reagan Schneider on for a field goal. He already hit from 36. This is a 34-yard attempt. And it's a fake. Hotchkiss throws to Schneider, and he's not going to get the first down. Tackled at the 18-yard line by Chamberlain, and Tulsa takes over.
Schneider is a great athlete. He won 2 Texas State high school championships as a wide receiver and a kicker. He stays in shape, and so it seems to make sense to throw the ball out to him. The problem was that Tulsa's defense knew that. They know the athletic ability of Schneider, and they were ready for it.
It's easy in hindsight to criticize the decision by Mike Price to go for it and fake the field goal on 4th down, isn't it?
Well, I think Rod would say kick it. And in this case, I say I probably would have kicked it as well.
Here's a toss sweep on 1st down and 10, and Teneo drilled in the backfield at the 13-yard line by Emery Spence, who had the fumble recovery on the last possession for Tulsa.
The reason, Dave, I would have kicked it there is because it puts you up 2 scores, and it puts you in a position where the defense can't tee off on Jordan Palmer. If UTEP can play from ahead, then Palmer doesn't have to worry about extra blitzes and exotic coverages.
And with the way Palmer had been throwing the ball and the time he'd been getting, you wondered maybe should they have thrown it on 3rd down and 2, then they wouldn't have even been in that situation of having to try a field goal. They've had a tough time running the ball with the exception of 2 plays by Marcus Thomas, including a touchdown run. 2nd and 13, Smith to the air. Everybody's covered. Smith sacked back at the 10-yard line. Zach West gets the sack, his 2nd of the year.
West is the 2nd man in from the top of the line. Number 63. And all he does is come around on a line stunt. And it's late. And Dave, you talked about how everybody was covered. That play, that sack is not on the offensive line. That's on the receivers because nobody could get open. And normally Paul Smith gets the ball out quickly, nowhere to get it out at all that time.
That's the first sack of the game for UTEP and only the 5th allowed by Tulsa this year. That's number 1 in the country. -2 total yards the last 10 plays for the Golden Hurricane. Smith outside the pocket, dangerous throw, and it's intercepted at the 39-yard line by Dents. And a penalty flag down as well. That's the 6th pick of the year for Quentin Demps and the 2nd straight turnover by Smith.
What on earth has gotten into Paul Smith?
After the interception, personal foul, face mask, number 9, Tulsa, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's a low percentage play. It's 3rd and 16. He's rolling to his right. There's a defender in his face. and he slings the ball up and over where there are 2-3 defenders. That is not decision-making that we've come to expect from Paul Smith.
And our first penalty of the game. So UTEP, after missing out on the opportunity for points off the last turnover by going for the fake field goal, gets another opportunity as Demps gets his 6th pick of the year. The ball comes right back to the 24 of Tulsa. Back-to-back giveaways by Smith, the fumble and then the pick. Jordan Palmer back to work from the 24-yard line. Short set. And Palmer's pass through the hands of the intended receiver, Daniel Robinson. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Palmer so calm. His team is ahead. He's under pressure, but he hasn't been hit hard. Mike Price has got him exactly where he wants to be now. The rap on Palmer has been lots of passing yards, but also lots of interceptions. The top 100 passers in the nation right now, only one has more interceptions than Palmer.
Yeah, he and Smith have kind of reversed roles. Palmer's been very efficient. Smith has turned it over twice. Palmer in trouble, gets away from a defender. And Palmer's got excellent arm strength and throws it away. That's the 2nd time today, at least, that Tulsa has had Palmer in the backfield, but has not been able to bring him down. Chris Chamberlain had a chance to get the sack.
Well, this looks like just a complete and utter
personal foul. Roughing the passer, 90 on the defense. Penalty half the distance. First down.
So Brandon Jones hits Palmer while he's out of bounds.
Well, that adds injury to insult. Coleman came in on that blitz as well. Chamberlain, in missing the tackle, knocked Coleman off, or Coleman had a really good shot lined up on Palmer. And he chased him all the way to the sideline, and in frustration, he goes too far.
So a huge penalty, 2 personal fouls by Tulsa in the last minute, and UTEP will have the ball at the 12. Shotgun formation, 5 receivers. Palmer going to Higgins, and it's batted away at the last second by Alexander, incomplete. Alexander a little banged up on the play as well.
And Palmer says, yeah, that's my fault. Higgins is going to get open. It's an all-out blitz. It's man coverage. He beats his man cleanly, and if the ball is out in front, he catches that ball for an easy touchdown. And we saw at the end Palmer patting his chest saying, yeah, I know you beat him. I know you beat him. I didn't get the ball out in front.
Palmer 10 out of 14, 121 yards in the game. Younger brother of the Bengals, Carson Palmer, has been very impressive. Throwing a screen pass here. Thomas caught it, and he's taken down immediately. Alexander on the play. Make that Germany, who made the stop at the 18-yard line.
Tulsa, I like this aggressive style, Dave. This year, they've relied mostly on their defensive front to get pressure. Now they're blitzing over and over again. This is something UTEP could not have anticipated because they haven't shown it this year.
Loss of 5 on the play, 3rd down and 15. And a timeout by Tulsa.
Timeout, Tulsa. 2nd timeout of the half.
They only had 10 guys on the field, and they had to call a timeout, 1 remaining for Tulsa. 10-3, UTEP leads. Let's bring Tina Dixon in right now.
Well, thanks, guys. Just a quick update on Nick Bunting, who we saw go out earlier in the game. Now, when he came to the sideline, they checked his head, took his helmet off. Now, he's currently standing on the sideline, but without his helmet. In fact, the staff still has his helmet, so it will be a coach's decision before he goes in. But, Trev, let me ask you this. He's the leader of this Tulsa defense. How much are they missing him?
You know, they will miss him a tremendous amount. He is a quarterback on the field. He gets everybody lined up in the right spots. He is the sort of the spiritual leader out there, the emotional leader. And without him, all of a sudden, you've got possibilities of guys not being aligned in the right spots. And against this team, UTEP, they will stress you vertically. And if you're not in the right places at all times, they can hurt you for long plays.
This is a big third down here for UTEP. There's a chance that if they don't pick this up, you're looking at 3 points, which would be 3 points off of back-to-back turnovers by Tulsa. And UTEP's been a bad second-half team this year. I'll bet Mike Price would like to get more out of those 2 drives.
Well, you look at the way momentum shifts in a game, where when it's going your way, you've got to turn that into points, because at some point against a good team, it's going to turn against you. And if they get points and you don't, when you're at the advantage, you're in trouble.
Third down and 15 coming up for Mike Price's Miners. They win the night. They're tied for first in their division with Tulsa and Houston. A loss, and they are pretty much out of the Conference USA race. Palmer takes, and he finds Robinson, cut down at the 5. He's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. All right, if you're Mike Price, do you go with the definite 3, or do you take another chance?
I think you kick the field goal. You take the points. You're on the road. It's what amounts to a conference elimination game for you. You've got the opportunity for points. Take them.
And we mentioned the fact that UTEP has not been a very good second-half team. Mike Price's club led Houston last week 17-10 at halftime, then was outscored 24-0 in the second half and ended up losing that game. This to give UTEP a 13-3 lead, a 22-yard attempt by Schneider. They fake the last attempt. They won't this time. And Schneider hits it, and UTEP takes a 10-point lead. But Tulsa can't be too upset with the fact that it only gave up 3 points after back-to-back turnovers by Paul Smith.
Hey, it's me, Mark. Still living out of my Sentra for 7 days. The Sentra's not as big as my apartment, but you know what? There's no landlord, and that means one thing: loud music. Sure, there's some disadvantages to living in a car, but there's some advantages too. And the neighborhood's pretty decent. My next generation Nissan Sentra.
Things that make you go, Things that make you go,
It's Papa John's new Sausage Sensation Pizza. This new 6-topping taste sensation is loaded with spicy Italian, new smoked, and sweet sausages, plus fresh cut onions and red and green peppers. Now, for a limited time, get a large 6-topping Sausage Sensation Pizza for just $11.99. $11.99. Call now or order online.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Things that make you go,
Coulter Cadillac has great news. The critically acclaimed 07 Escalade just got better. Buy one this month. The navigation system with backup camera is free. Plus, while supplies last, will include a set of 20-inch wheels and tires for $99. But wait, we're not done. In addition to this, all 07 Escalades, ESVs, and EXTs are just 2% over factory invoice. That's a combined savings of over $8,000 only at Coulter. Hurry in while the inventory lasts. Coulter Cadillac, 12th Street and Camelback. Look for the car on the roof.
One of the most elegant communities in the heart of Phoenix is Westone Communities Parkside, where this week we're featuring one of our most popular model homes, the Mulberry. This elegant 1,412 square foot home with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a 2-car garage includes washer, dryer, refrigerator, stainless steel appliances, and slab granite countertops. The Mulberry is priced to sell at $279,990. However, when you buy this week, this home is yours for only $234,990. Discover more at WestoneCommunities.com.
Well, right now, if
penalty flag on the kick return by Moss.
Return. Legal block in the back. 86 for return team. The 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
the Tulsa, Dave, is not in bad shape right now. They have played really terrible football. The star of their team, quarterback Paul Smith, has made 2 big turnovers on really bonehead plays, which is something you just don't expect, and yet they're only down 10 points. It's incumbent on them right now to get something going, get this thing started. get some positive plays, move the chain so they can get some momentum going into halftime.
Tulsa has not been in UTEP territory in the second quarter. UTEP has had 17 plays in Tulsa territory, but only 3 points off of 2 straight Tulsa turnovers. Play action for Smith. His pass over the middle is pulled in at the 18-yard line. Another penalty flag down. Moss on the reception, tackled by Spence. We had no penalties for the first 18, 19 minutes, and Tulsa's had a tough time not making mistakes.
Now you're seeing a coaching style there with Steve Cragthorpe. He's encouraging the guys.
53 on the offense. So it'll be half the distance. Still first down.
Cragthorpe is encouraging now. He's not on him. He's not letting him know that he's mad and there will be repercussions. Right now, in the middle of the game, his style is to get him buoyed back up. Forget about the bad plays. Let's make the next play good.
That's a very positive environment. And talking with Coach Cragthorpe yesterday, he says it's a very family-like environment. Literally. Steve's dad, Dave, former head coach at Oregon State, actually coached against Mike Price, spends game days on the sideline with his son. And 2 of Steve's 3 sons also spend time on the sideline. Tenale on the carry, off the right edge to the 10 for 3 yards. And we saw a lot of youngsters out on the field prior to the game.
First time out of the half.
There are 2 timeouts remaining for UTEP. We saw a lot of youngsters running around. This is a pregame. There's Dave on the left talking with son Steve, one of the assistant coaches playing with his 2 young kids. Matt Wells, assistant coach with his 2 daughters there.
Well, the philosophy is that he wants this to be not only a good football environment, but a good family environment. And it's a success principle for him. He doesn't think that having family time takes away from football and therefore you compromise football. He thinks that solid family efforts make you a better football coach.
Well, Steve's 2 of his sons, Brad, who's 14, Nick, who's 12, spend home games on the sidelines with their father, Steve. Steve's other son, Chris, is actually playing right now. Steve unable to watch him tonight. Chris is an offensive lineman. He plays for former Buffalo Bill Jerry Ostrowski, who actually helped Steve Cragthorpe get the job here.
You know, he made some introductions and helped to get those doors open for him. Cragthorpe actually has his assistant coaches go home by 7:30 every night. If they're still in the office, he'll kick them out because he wants them to be fresh for football.
It's also a family affair on the other sideline with UTEP. 2 of Mike Price's sons are on the coaching staff. Eric is the offensive coordinator. Aaron is the quarterback's coach and the kicking coach as well. 0 yards total offense for Tulsa this quarter, and a 2nd and 13 from the 11-yard line. Smith gets out of trouble and gets a couple of yards, tackled by Alex Obamise at the 13.
Well, there was a line stun up front, and I think Smith lost some confidence.
UTEP, second time out of the half.
Lost some confidence in his offensive line. Keep in mind that this is the least sacked team in the league. He saw those defensive linemen flash in front of him, but the O-line picked them up, and I thought Smith could have taken more time to look downfield.
3rd down coming up for Tulsa's offense. UTEP might get the ball back with some time to do some damage offensively.
A lot of things make the University of Tulsa great. Motivated students, a faculty that inspires, a beautiful residential campus. But it's the value of our private education that makes us truly unique. Come check us out. We're the University of Tulsa.
.227 to go in the second quarter. UTEP leads 13-3. Tulsa 6-1. Perfect in Conference USA with a record of 3-0. The defending Conference USA champs. Been excellent at home the last couple of years. But Mike Price's Miners, who struggled on the road in league play, have a 10-point lead and then might get the ball back depending on what Ball Smith and company do here on 3rd and 11 at the 13. Smith going to the sideline, and it's caught by Moss, and he's got the first down to the 26-yard line.
Dave, Paul Smith showed that he trusted his protection on this one. A line stunt comes around here. It gets picked up. He sits in the pocket, makes his reads, does not watch all those orange helmets flash in front of him.
So it's a first down at the 26-yard line. Smith going back to the air to the other side of the field. And good job of keeping his balance, Donnie Johnson. Emery spins on the tackle. And Tulsa going no huddle. One timeout remaining for the Golden Hurricane. Smith overthrows Moss. He had him, and he overthrew him incomplete. Let's go back to the studio. Reese Davis is going to tell us what's coming up at the half. Reese?
All right, Dave, on the Olive Garden halftime report, we'll have the latest insight from the marquee games on Saturday, including how close to full-strength Tennessee will be. Mark and Lou will join me to take their pick, and we'll also tell you whether Barry Bonds could be on the move. It's all coming up in just a bit.
All right, Reese, interested to hear what Mark and Lou think about that Tennessee-South Carolina game tomorrow night on ESPN, 7:45 Eastern Time. Third down and 2 at 34. Tennell, great second and third effort. Past the 40 to the 42. Quentin Demps on the tackle.
Tennell, 5'9", 214. He's built low to the ground. He can move piles, and even if you think you have him tackled, he can run through you.
Transferred from Oklahoma, redshirted in 2003, didn't play in 04, and barely played last year. Flushed out of the pocket, and Smith throws it away. And there's a penalty flag down at the 25-yard line, likely roughing the passer on Alex Obamise.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 47 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the first penalty on UTEP tonight, and it's a huge one.
It is a huge one. He's looking to his right for Corey Kaiser, number 18, up the sideline, but Kaiser is covered, so he just throws it away. Now, I'm not sure what he called there in terms of that, unless there was helmet-to-helmet contact, but it didn't look like it.
I think they just felt that the pass had already been let go, and it was unnecessary contact.
I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good defensive play by Obamise.
First down at the UTEP 43. One timeout remaining for both teams. Smith, and again, everybody's covered, except Johnson along the sideline, and it is ruled a catch inside the 25. Johnson got free from a defensive back, and Smith found him.
This is that supreme knowledge of the offense. Now, Smith, while we're seeing the receiver run, is looking all the way to the right. He comes off and scrambles to the left.
Play will be reviewed.
And Johnson sees him scramble to the left, and he goes to the left sideline.
They're going to review this, but it looked like Johnson tapped that right foot down after he made the catch inbounds. Has to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the ruling on the field, and it appears clearly that that was a catch.
We'll first see if he's got the ball secured in his hand. You look at his foot right there, and the question is the ball secured before that foot or when that foot hits the ground? So first look at the ball. He's got it, and now the foot taps down. I think that is a catch.
Great job by Johnson.
Dave, if Paul Smith had been playing in the first quarter the way he's playing now in this part of the second quarter, his team would not be trailing. He is really playing phenomenal football.
Now, they had 0 yards of total offense until this drive in this quarter.
You look at the replay booth. What they see there is our replays that you at home saw. Then they record it onto a TiVo, and they go back and forth and back and forth.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Completed catch, first down.
Now, I think that's the right call. The disadvantage of their technology, though, is that in slow motion, it gets a little bit fuzzy, and there you needed it to be very, very tight. That's a nice job by the guys in the replay booth of seeing that and making the right call.
We have not seen a lot of coaches' challenges this year, and when we have seen them, they haven't worked. You think that's something they'll do away with next year?
No, the coaches' challenge, I think, is a good thing to have. They just need to have more support because they don't really have much of a replay to look at to see if they should challenge.
First down to the 24, Smith rolling out. And Smith going to get sacked, drilled back at the 28-yard line by Justin Honnell. That hurts you in two ways. You lose yardage and the clock keeps running instead of him just throwing it away.
Well, it does. If he throws this away, then they are still in field goal range. Now they're just at the edge of field goal range.
Please reset the clock to 1:04.
And that, again, uncharacteristic, Dave, of Paul Smith, the game manager. We talked about how he patterns his game after his idol, Joe Montana. And it's not just about completing passes. It's about taking what's there and about limiting negative plays. That was a negative play that could be big.
Arnold takes down the quarterback for a 6-yard loss, and Tulsa's out of timeouts. UTEP has one remaining. 5 big defensive plays by UTEP in this quarter, including an interception and a fumble recovery. Let's take a look at what is coming up tomorrow on ABC. Regional coverage at 3:30 Eastern. Number 1 Ohio State taking on Minnesota or Miami and 21st ranked Georgia Tech. Also Nebraska and Oklahoma State at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow on ABC. And that Miami-Georgia Tech game huge because the winner will hold the top spot in the Coastal Division, would have to lose twice more to lose the number 1 spot in that division, which means Miami could still play for the ACC championship trip.
Now, doesn't that feel bizarre? After the problems they've had on the field and then the problems off the field and between the whistles with the brawl, they are still in control of their destiny in terms of the championship.
All those players except Reddick, those 12 players who were suspended 1 game for that fight against Florida International, will be back tomorrow for that game against Georgia Tech. Here's a 2nd and 16 play. Dial straight ahead to the 23 for 7 yards. Clock running and a 3rd down coming up. Tulsa out of timeouts.
Well, I like that play by Cragthorpe. It keeps them back into field goal range no matter what else happens now.
Shotgun for Smith on 3rd and 9. Smith going to the sideline, incomplete. It was intended for Moss. He would have been a few yards shy of the 1st down had he caught it. 4th down and 9. Emery Spence on the coverage. And Cragthorpe signaling for the kicking team to take the field to try for 3.
This was really set up by that 2nd down play. That was a very big deal because Jared Tracy doesn't have the strongest leg in the world. Range about 45 yards. He's had a 41-yarder this year, and this one will be 40.
Made a 32-yarder on Tulsa's first drive of the game. And this one's good. 2 long drives by Tulsa end in field goals. Tracy nails a 40-yarder. 13-6, UTEP leads.
It was a game that smashed boundaries for Texas Western and all of basketball.
In 1966, we changed the face of college athletics. Today, we're changing the face of higher education. The University of Texas at El Paso. UTEP. Our time is now.
Back in Tulsa, mistakes have really hurt the Golden Hurricane in this game, but they're only down 7 points.
Well, mistakes by the least likely of people. This fumble on the handoff by Paul Smith. Now here Paul Smith stiff-arms the defender, but doesn't secure the ball. And this is a very ill-advised pass. Again, this coming from your best player. But we saw him lead a terrific drive for that last field goal. If he can keep it together now and reversing his form in the 2nd half, they've got a shot.
And again, UTEP led by 7 at halftime against Houston last week and got outscored 24-zip in the second half. Johnny Lee Higgins on the kick return, looking for a hole, and it's not there. Twirl to the turf at the 26-yard line. Some pushing and shoving after the play. You heard Mike Price at the beginning of the game talk about sportsmanship. In the past, they've taken that minor pickaxe that they run onto the field with and plant it in the opponent's turf, but he's not going to do that on the road anymore because he wants to show sportsmanship in light of what took place in that Miami FIU game.
Yeah, David, he never planted it in the middle of the opponent's field. It was always in the end zone. It was off to the side. You didn't even want to do that this time. And his players did a good job of not retaliating when it got a little chippy down there a second ago.
Clock starts on the change of possession, so that will do it for the second quarter. The last 2 games in this series decided by a total of 5 points. It's a 7-point game at halftime. Jordan Palmer with a terrific half, 12 out of 16, $128. And his team leads by 7. (13-6), UTEP leads. Will Steve Crackthorpe be able to rally the troops in the second half? Let's go to Tina Dixon.
Coach, you're able to put some points on the board on that last half, but earlier in the second quarter, you had some problems, a couple turnovers, very uncharacteristic moves. How do you clean that up?
Well, we had a good first drive, got down and got the field goal, but you're right, we were out of sync. Not a lot of first down production there in the second, third, and fourth drive, and we've got to get better first down production to set up some play action passes and let us get in a little bit of a better flow.
Thanks, and good luck the second half.
Thanks.
13-6, UTEP leads by 7 at halftime. Will the Miners be able to maintain that lead and win on the road and tie for first in the Conference USA West? Let's go to Reese Davis in the studio.
All right, guys, glad to have you along on the Olive Garden halftime report. Lou Holtz, Mark May alongside. We'll talk plenty about the upcoming weekend, get you up to date on the World Series. They're trying to be finished off by the St. Louis Cardinals. Tell you what Barry Bonds' plans might be, but plenty of college football ahead on this weekend, including a show-me battle for both Oklahoma and Missouri. Missouri turned the tide and proved to be for real. We'll see if Smokey's got any more bite against a longtime volunteer nemesis. It's all coming up.
This halftime report brought to you by Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
The NBA on ESPN returns Wednesday with a doubleheader. Coverage begins at 7. Show your team colors with official ESPN College Game Day apparel. Pick them up at Finish Line, Hibbett Sports, college bookstores, and fan shops nationwide, and at ESPNshop.com. The ESPN College Game Day apparel collection. Every game matters.
I live for speed. They're running on empty. You gotta be in it for the long haul. Now that guy has the right idea. Let's keep going, buddy.
Look for special savings from Energizer on Cars DVD at participating retailers. Rated G.
Friday. It's casual day, so hopefully you're taking full advantage. It's also the 5th day of a 7-day week. 7 plus 5 equals 12, which of course is the retired number of Jim Kelly and Joe Namath. It also happens to be Heinz Ward's favorite movie. And if that's not enough, there's only 3 days till Brady faces the new Purple People Eaters. 3 days till the Patriots battle the Vikings at 8:30. TGIAM, people. Thank God it's almost Monday.
All right, listen up. I know how much you love to play, compete, and win. But being a team is more than that. It's about dedication to excellence, a commitment to your school, your community, and each other. So you can go out and play the greatest game of your life. But only as a team can you truly be great. Be that team today.
Video games? Maybe. But appliances? Spencer's TV has a better idea. Low-pressure advice from people who really know appliances. Plus quality appliances from GE, featuring GE innovation and value. Spencer's TV, a better idea.
All right, Billy. It's your night. What I want you to do, 4 yards out. Cut left at Superfan. Yes. Go around the going red. We'll meet you at the top of the stairs.
Go. It's always the right play. Pass the keys to a sober, designated driver, or expect the max.
Don't forget, if you need a new TV or appliance this weekend, you've got to get to Spencer's.
Spencer's, it's like having a friend in the business in Mesa, Glendale, North Scottsdale, and now in Arrowhead.
Welcome back to the Olive Garden Halftime Report.
A touchdown in the first half, and it belonged to the Miners. Marcus Thomas going in for Mike Price's team, and UTEP with a 13-6 lead on Tulsa at the break. Only one game this weekend matches up ranked teams, and Michigan will not be involved in that game. Lloyd Carr and the Wolverines have a meeting with Northwestern coming off the biggest meltdown in 1A history when they gave up a 35-point lead against Michigan State. But Lloyd Carr says this is the real test for the Wolverines. And yes, I said Lloyd because there are no L's anywhere to be found around Michigan. Rob Stone on Michigan's date with Northwestern.
Rob Stone in Ann Arbor, where today Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr told us that despite an ongoing legal issue, wide receiver Adrian Arrington will play but not start Saturday versus Northwestern. Carr also updated us on the status of leading receiver Mario Manningham. He will miss his third consecutive game following patella tendon surgery, but the plan is to have him running on Saturday and to be back in uniform next weekend.
I'm Lisa Salters at the Zoo. Oklahoma's Adrian Peterson, of course, won't be playing tomorrow, but he did travel with the team. Missouri defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus told me that even with Peterson out, the Tigers' defensive mindset will stay the same. He said Alan Patrick may not be this year's #1 draft pick, but he's still as good of a running back as there is in the Big 12. Safety David Overstreet said that they're going to try to run the ball down our throat, but our motto is as long as we have enough room on the ground to put our feet, we have enough room to keep you out of the end zone.
Stacey Dale's in a rainy Columbus, Ohio. The rain expected to clear for tomorrow's Minnesota-Ohio State game, but the Buckeyes ended practice early yesterday, and immediately the leader, Troy Smith, called a players-only gathering. He told his guys, hey, we have 17 seniors on our roster and only 2 more opportunities to play here at the Shoe. We cannot miss an opportunity. And, oh, by the way, Minnesota has 17 Ohio natives on its roster, and you can be assured they will come to the Shoe with a chip on their shoulder.
I'm Janine Edwards in College Park, Maryland, where Florida State coach Bobby Bowden comes amid a storm of criticism. Florida State is at 4-3 for the first time since 1978. Last night I spoke with school president T.K. Wetherill, who told me no staffing changes will be made before the end of the season. When I asked him if those changes could include head coach, Wetherill said, "You never say never," but added any decisions on changes to be made may end up falling on Bowden's shoulders.
I'm Holly Rowe in Columbia, South Carolina, where the Gamecocks are a win away from being bowl eligible. But Tennessee comes to town Saturday with the best road record in the SEC, winning 77% of their games since 1992. Tennessee wide receiver Jason Swain is expected to make the travel team and likely to play. Also expected to make the travel squad, Smokey, the Vols' blue-tick coonhound, who's been in the doghouse after allegedly biting an Alabama player last week. The incident's still under review, but Smokey will be here on the sidelines, and maybe we'll give some bite to the Vols' bark Saturday.
Make sure Smokey's had his shots and everything ought to be okay. You think?
Little muzzle.
Hey, let's do a little take your pick now in Tennessee, South Carolina. Head ball coach with an opportunity to spoil the season for the Vols again. Take your pick, Tennessee, South Carolina.
Oh, you have to go with the University of South Carolina. They have one of the better defensive secondaries in the country, but they have Savell Newton. He is completing over 60% of his passes, averaging almost 4 yards a carry. He has great receivers. The guy presents an awful threat. In addition to that, Corey Boyd's a tremendous running back.
The best defensive secondary in the country. They play Vandy, Kentucky. Wait when they see the offense of Tennessee. Jason Swain, Robert Meacham, Brett Smith. Are you kidding me? Eric Ainge, he's going to be pitching the ball all around there. You know, ball coach likes to pitch it around there. I'm taking Tennessee, big time.
Just because you say it doesn't make it true. South Carolina will beat them.
Go to the ACC. You know, if Georgia Tech can win this thing, they can just about punch their ticket to go into the ACC title game. Kane's trying to turn it around. Who do you like, Luke?
I like Georgia Tech. I don't believe that they're going to play as bad as they did against Virginia Tech. They've got to get the ball to Calvin Johnson. But the main thing is Miami can't score, and I don't believe their defensive secondary can keep Georgia Tech out of the end zone enough.
I like Georgia Tech in a very close game, and I'm putting a big but and a what-if in there. You want to know why?
Why?
Because if Reggie Ball doesn't throw the ball to Calvin Johnson, they won't win.
You mean like when he had 0 catches against
right.
Clemson last week?
He's got to throw to at least a dozen times in this game for Georgia Tech to win.
But he found out this week he's on his team. As far as Ohio U's concerned, OU, I like Oklahoma. Main reason, because of their defense. In their last 4 games, including Texas, they've not given up 300 yards total offense. Their defense playing outstanding. Against Colorado last week, they gave up 113 yards. Along with their offense, I think their defense will win this football game in a very close, difficult environment.
But can they cover those great tight ends that Missouri has? Chase Kaufman, Martin Rucker. You know, Chase Daniels, the quarterback, he's thrown the ball to 6 players on their team, and among those 6 players, each of them have at least 10 receptions. I'm going with Missouri in this game.
Well, the big thing about it is they got to go to the tight ends because they don't have any qualified receivers on that line. Oklahoma will win the game.
Well, you know, Will Franklin's played very well for Missouri, too. But you know what? That'll be a little bit of an upset, at least by rankings, if not necessarily by the people who determine who's supposed to win these games. Well, will everything go pretty much as scripted this weekend, Mark?
No, it won't. I think the upset is going to be for Texas. Watch out, Longhorns. Had a big emotional game last week against Nebraska down to the wire. Texas Tech, obviously you know they're going to throw the ball with their head coach Mike Leach, but Graham Harrell, 25 touchdown passes, the quarterback for Texas Tech, only 7 interceptions, completing 69% of his passes. You want to know why this is an upset alert? Texas pass defense is 84th in the country. They gave up over 300 yards against Baylor, may I say. Baylor, the Baylor Bears threw for over 300 yards on the Texas defense.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the Baylor Bears, but I want to tell you this. You're the guy that's been up there and telling about how great Texas is each and every week. Texas will win the football game. Rest at ease. Texas Tech will put up a great fight, and they have beat Texas 2 of the last 3 times they've played in Lubbock, but not this time.
Do you know that if your upset comes to fruition, Texas Tech wins the game? If Baylor beats A&M, guess who has a share of first place in the Big 12 South?
Baylor.
The guy that criticized Baylor throwing for 300 yards.
Ifs over here and over
I'm
there.
just saying. It just takes your upset and one home win, and you just don't, I don't care if you're Texas A&M, you just don't walk into Floyd Casey Stadium, stroll out with a victory. Not in Waco. Forget it. Nobody strolled in against the Scarlet Knights and beaten them, but which Big East team is really the team on the mission? We'll have these guys break it down and tell you who's the best in the Big East.
You guys have to try this. Nothing like Friday nights with my best friends. We just have one rule. Everyone orders something different.
It's Olive Garden's new Chicken Roma. Sauteed chicken layered with Italian cheeses and fresh Roma tomatoes. Or new Asiago chicken, topped with creamy Alfredo and Asiago cheese. 2 delicious new dishes from Olive Garden, plus endless breadsticks and salad.
The best part of being with my friends, we all have such great taste.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Young Shamash, my name is Borat. My government sent me to USA to make a movie film.
Hello, I new in town.
Careful, he bites.
She is your wife?
No, that's my wife.
In my country, they would go crazy for these 2. Not so much.
On November 3rd.
There is a woman in a car. Can we make a sexy time with her?
No.
Why not?
Because a woman has a right to choose who she has sex with.
What?
Borat. Rated R. November 3rd, only in theaters.
You could get rid of the things you don't like about credit cards, the hype, the confusion. What if you could start over, and this time, do it right?
On a Mission is brought to you by MI3, starring Tom Cruise. Available on DVD October 30th.
It is Mission Impossible 3 for all 3 undefeated Big East teams to remain that way. 3 of the 7 remaining in college football out of that conference. These are the games that will define the Big East season. You see, starting next Thursday night, West Virginia and Louisville, the huge one, and then the next 2 Thursday nights, also huge games in conference play. So the real question, out of the Big East, Lou, which team is really the one on a mission?
Well, I think it's going to be the University of West Virginia. I think that they're very, very talented, but their defense is very, very different. You don't see that type of defense. In addition to that, I love their offensive line. Yeah, you're going to show the guys running. Their offensive line is one of the best in the country.
I agree with you, Coach. The team on a mission is West Virginia, the Mountaineers. The reason why is because at the beginning of the season, people like Reese Davis would sit up here and say, oh, they don't play a team with a winning record this season until November 2nd. Now, you know, they went through the schedule and they defeated everybody they played, and now they're undefeated, and November 2nd is coming up next Thursday.
I'd like to know when it was that I criticized them. I always say about West Virginia that they're fun to watch. You get every penny's worth every time you see them play.
Oh, I do. But I tell you, their offensive line is the most underestimated group of people in the entire country. They have played exceptionally well. Yeah, you see Pat White and Slayton run all over, but their offensive line opens holes for them, and the receivers block great.
And every time either Pat White or Steve Slayton runs the football, I think they're always going for the home run. They're going for the big play. And it's not only the offensive line, it's their wide receivers. When you watch this offense run the football, wide receivers are down the field to play, blocking cornerbacks, blocking safeties, doing an outstanding job.
And it all starts with their center, Dan Moses, who's an All-America candidate. He's led the way. Going to be a great matchup on Thursday night on ESPN, West Virginia and Louisville, but you don't have to wait that long to see an undefeated team from the Big East. How about the State University of New Jersey? Rutgers, living large, undefeated on Sunday night. They host UConn, available on HD, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. When we come back, we'll have a little baseball for you. Could it be that the end of an era for Barry Bonds in San Francisco, and also get you up to date, World Series. Run scoring right now.
The best in German engineering. A powerful motor. And a handling system for precision and control from Braun. Introducing the world's first electric shaver with the expertise of Gillette blade technology. Precisely angled edges cut hair more effectively with every stroke. For Braun's closest, most comfortable shave ever. It even cleans and renews itself. The new 360 Complete from Braun. Precision, control, perfection.
You are killing me, Bertwood. Hey, take the secret shortcut. Never heard of the secret shortcut. Because it's a secret, Ham. Take it.
Not bad, Bertwood. You ever taken this trail, Bertwood?
Once, including now.
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness.
Not too bad.
Or new car replacement. Your choice auto insurance. Only from Allstate.
Bertwood.
Are you in good hands?
For the first time ever, Aerosmith and Motley Crue. The concert tour that's gonna knock you on your ass. Aerosmith and Motley Crue. November 13th at Cricket Pavilion, Roots of All Evil Tour. Don't wait. Hurry and get tickets right now. Aerosmith and Motley Crue. You'll never see anything like it again.
For over 90 years, Elliott Homes has been leading the way. And now in Arizona, we're doing it again.
We have communities valley-wide with the right home for you and your family.
These homes are complete with all the right stuff, including landscaping, blinds, appliances, and all the extras.
And move in right now. There is no waiting. So don't you wait. These homes will sell fast.
Elliott Homes.
The right home.
Right stuff.
Right now.
Visit ElliottHomes.com.
This halftime report brought to you by Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
His cast is constantly changing. The results do not. Behind Tom Brady, the Patriots back on top of their division at 5-1. Chester Taylor had the longest run in Vikings history, and Minnesota's on a good run at 4-2. The Vikings host the Patriots at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Game 5 of the World Series, Cardinals have just taken a 3-2 lead. Detroit now had an error from their pitchers. In 5 straight games. This one allowed the tying run to score, and Cardinals have taken 3-2 lead. Games on ESPN Radio. Barry Bonds still looking for a world championship. Might not be looking for it in San Francisco. Plans to file for free agency as soon as possible. His agent's saying that the only thing that would stop that, the deal in place with the Giants. That is not the situation at the moment. What is in place for the San Francisco Giants is a new manager. Former Padres skipper Bruce Bochy is now the manager in San Francisco. And Tiger Woods says he'll skip the Tour Championship next week, and Byron Leftwich with a bad ankle, will not start Sunday against the Eagles for the Jaguars.
Every warrior has been summoned for one final battle. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Rated M for mature. Mortal Kombat Unchained available on PlayStation Portable.
Heat. Enemy of vengeance. Enemy of heat? Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic, with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer heat. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Excuse me. So what exactly are you guys?
Sneakers, baby. Vintage 1985 high tops, limited edition. Old school.
Wow, you guys sound pretty cool.
You know how I roll.
So how's the postal carrier going to handle all you guys?
It's all good. The lady drives a big truck.
Wow.
With lots of room in the truck, the post office comes to you with free package pickup.
These are the faces that look up to you. You, the fans. The people who pack the stands week after week. So before you walk through the stadium gates or see the first fan from the other team, ask yourself one question. Are you setting a good example for the next generation? Make sportsmanship your best play of the game and make it a great day for NCAA football.
ESPN 2 Primetime College Football is broadcast in high definition, presented by Pioneer Plasma. Welcome back to Skelly Stadium. UTEP leads Tulsa 13-6 as we get ready to start the third quarter. First time all season Tulsa has not scored a touchdown in the first half. Take a look at our game track. Jordan Palmer with an excellent first half, Trev.
Excellent first half. This is the longest play that he threw, 38 yards to Robinson. Other than that, he's been very efficient, very workmanlike. And this run by Marcus Thomas, one of the few bright spots on the ground for UTEP, but it hasn't mattered. Now, we've seen a role reversal for Paul Smith. We've seen him, instead of being efficient, we've seen him make mistakes. Saw him lose a fumble. This interception led to a field goal. These are mistakes that Paul Smith normally does not make and were completely unexpected from him in that first half.
Palmer, a guy who last year led the nation in interceptions. He has 10 this year, but only 4 in the last 5 games, none in the first half. And it was Smith on the other side, the one that was making the mistakes. As we look at our first half stats, we showed you the lone touchdown in the game. And the average starting field position for UTEP certainly helped, starting at its own 40 and twice in Tulsa territory.
And that helped because of the turnovers by Paul Smith.
UTEP will get the football to start the third quarter. Jared Tracy will kick it away. Johnny Lee Higgins and Quentin Demps back to return. It'll be the dangerous Higgins at the 5. Reverses his field and stumbles at the 9-yard line. So horrible starting field position for UTEP to start the third quarter. With Trevor Matich, I'm Dave Pasch, Tina Dixon down on the field. Rod Gilmore is at the Washington State-UCLA game, so he is not with us here tonight. Trev, what has to change for Paul Smith here in the second half for Tulsa to come back and win this game?
You know, he just needs to forget the first half. He needs to reboot his hard drive, just completely reset his brain, and beat Paul Smith, because we expected him to be efficient in the first half. Instead, he made mistakes, and that's the difference in this game.
He'll be on the sideline to start the third quarter. From the 9-yard line, Palmer hit as he throws, and Sears dropped it. And it's picked up by Roberts. Touchdown, Tulsa! Now it's ruled incomplete. It is ruled incomplete, so it cannot be reviewed. So it's an incomplete pass. It will stay UTEP football.
Well, you got to catch the ball securely and then make... Now, He didn't fully secure the ball. I think that's a good call. And that's a big break for UTEP. It looks like he's about to tuck it away, but before he gets it completely secured, there it goes.
And a timeout called by Tulsa.
Well, we saw on that play, Dave, exactly what Tulsa talked about for their defense at halftime. They pressured Palmer. They hit him as he threw. And then the defense was all over the receiver as the ball got there. Now watch Palmer. He's hit as he throws. And now there are 3 guys all over the receiver when that ball gets to him. And so we saw Tulsa succeed in defense in the first half when they pressured. They're doing the same now.
Let's check in with Tina Dixon down on the field.
Well, guys, and I bet Coach Price has given a sigh of relief after that call. Now, I asked him earlier how he felt when he saw that first touchdown for him. It came off a run, and he said, wow, that felt so good. We haven't done that in so long. Now, with his team, he's been happy with the throw and catch. Says the defense has been playing great. Admitted he made a mistake on that 4th and some yards when they could have gone for a field goal. Now, I asked him what he said to his team at the half to keep it going. He says, I didn't have to say anything. They know what to do.
All right, so Tina, pass to Higgins. You know, it's interesting. Tulsa called timeout, but you can't review an incomplete pass. A pass that's ruled incomplete on the field, and that's why it was not reviewed.
The reason is when the whistle blows, then the play stops. If they allowed it to continue and didn't blow the whistle, then they could have reviewed it.
It's 3rd and 3 at the 16-yard line. Four wide receivers. Palmer just gets rid of it, and UTEP will punt it away. Latou put pressure on the quarterback along with Karatapian.
Dave, in this we also see the progress of Palmer. He's not that long to the quarterback position. His junior year in high school, he was a wide receiver because of another quarterback who was outstanding, got a scholarship to USC, and now is with the Texas Rangers minor league baseball organization. Palmer, then his senior year in high school, started playing quarterback really for the first time. And so it's been a progression in college to learn to do what we just saw. Throw it away. Don't force it.
Hotchkiss to boot it away. And Moss will let it roll to about the 43-yard line. 41-yard punt, no return. So Tulsa's first possession of the 3rd quarter will start at the 44-yard line. Paul Smith, very uncharacteristic first half for him. We talked about 2 fumbles, one that was recovered by UTEP, and the interception. Here's his pass chart for the game.
Well, you see, he's got 4 attempts that are deeper attempts, and one of those 4 turned out to be an interception.
Shotgun for Smith. Running play on first down doesn't get much. Teneo to the 46 for 2 yards. Tackled by Zach West. Paul Smith, the MVP of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl a year ago. Having another fine season, trying to keep Tulsa unbeaten in Conference USA action. Pitch out to Taylor with a blocker in front. Oh, great open field tackle. Brian Tisdale cuts him down. Out in the flat at the 49-yard line, gain of 2.
Well, Dave, that time they broke the huddle and hustled up to the line of scrimmage and snapped the ball on a quick count, pitched it outside while UTEP's defense was still trying to get into their alignment and get settled into their stances.
Well, UTEP certainly has a lot of speed on this team, and that increased when Mike Price took over. In the 3 years prior to Price's arrival at UTEP, the Miners won 6 games. They immediately won 8 in 2004. They won 8 again last year, are 4-3 this year, and can tie for first place in the Western Division of Conference USA with a win tonight on the road. 3rd and 5. Moss goes up to make the grab. Spun down at the 41 by Tisdale, but it's a Tulsa first down.
Moss set in between three guys in the zone, and he just stood there because that soft spot in the zone never moved. You can see the two guys coming up around. There was a third as well. It was an interesting route, Dave, because he settled in that spot and then just waited for Smith to see him.
I talked to a former NFL general manager before the game who was very interested in Moss. He is here scouting for an NFL team and really thinks Moss is a hidden gem, perhaps, for some NFL team. Running play on first down. Nowhere to go for Taylor as the hole closes at the 40-yard line by Zach West. He was the hole.
Well, Dave, one thing they like about Moss is his shake and bake. He's got the ability to make a tackler move, which means he shouldn't get hit very hard very often, and it means he's got a chance to make a guy miss. And in the NFL, you very rarely have a guy out of position from a scheme standpoint. The chance for big yards after the catch come with making them miss.
Well, Moss was at UCLA and was dismissed by the Bruins for violation of team rules in 2004. He ended up at Chaffey College and transferred from there last year. Had 22 catches a year ago, 28 grabs on the season coming into this game. In trouble, Smith sacked at the 45-yard line by Justin Honnold. That's 2 sacks today for UTEP. Tulsa had given up 4 all season coming in.
And there were only 3 people rushing that time. Another coverage sack. 4 rushers. So there were 7 back in coverage, and they shut down all the receivers.
Correction, Trev, that's the 3rd sack today by UTEP. Only 4 given up all year by Tulsa coming into this game.
Well, it's the movement of this UTEP defensive line, the stunts and the twists that are giving fits to the offensive line of Tulsa.
3rd down and 14, play fake. Smith again moving out of the pocket. He's going to run, and he dives for the first down and goes out of bounds, but is okay after a big hit by Braxton Amy that knocked Paul Smith off his feet, went head first into the sideline, but is okay.
This is something Smith brings to this offense, Dave, that he inspires his teammate. He's not particularly fast. This is a nice run. But Steve Cragthorpe compared him to BYU's Jim McMahon, in that there were other guys on BYU's roster that could throw the ball better than McMahon. But he inspired people in the huddle, and that's what Paul Smith does. 10 guys that'll lay it on the line for this guy.
See what kind of inspiration he brings here on 4th down and 2 at the 33-yard line as Tulsa goes for it. And it's a running play to Tenale, not going to get it. Great stand by UTEP's defense. Tenale with excellent second effort after he was hit by Honnold and Calavo. Let's see where they spot it. Initially it looked like he was nowhere close, but it looks like the spot's actually pretty darn good. Maybe better than it should have been. It was 4th and 2 at the 33. It looked like he got stopped at the 32, but the mark is just shy of the 31-yard line. Now you see the yellow line there. Based on that, he's still short. And that yellow line is usually dead on.
It's usually very accurate, but that's as close as you can get and not make it.
I got to look at it again. I mean, it's that close.
Come on, Ferguson, get out of the way. I want to see this.
Nope, he didn't get it.
Wow. One more coat of paint on that pole, and it's a first down.
So UTEP takes over, leading by 7. And when we come back, we'll be joined by our buddy, Rod Gilmore, for the Friday night debate. That's next.
It's a new NBA, a new generation of players who are driven by one thing, the desire to win. The NBA on ESPN returns with a doubleheader of playoff rematches. The Wizards and Cavaliers revive last year's dramatic shootout. Then the Clippers look for revenge against the Suns. The NBA on ESPN returns Wednesday. Wizards, Cavaliers, and Clippers, Suns. Coverage begins at 7.
This is a lot of food.
Steak, egg, and cheese burrito.
And there's tots in there, and onions, and green peppers.
I know.
It's no normal breakfast. It's like a breakfast. Like a breakfast. Wow.
Yeah, wow indeed.
Wow. Breakfast.
steak, egg, and cheese burrito. Sonic's got it, others don't. Loaded with thin sliced steak, it's the hearty way to start your morning. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
I'm not all about keeping up with trends or name brands, and I definitely go for things that I feel most comfortable in. I feel like we're getting out of the phase where everyone was wearing shorts, shirts and low pants and showing a lot of skin, which I am not a fan of. So I really love this fully clothed but fashionable thing that's happening. It's really nice. Hi, my name is Tiffany Villerin, and this is what I found at Sears.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be.
When's the last time you replaced your wiper blades?
Cry is not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna.
Right now at Advance, all wiper blades are 25% off.
Because I'm free.
And as always, we install them fast and free. Yeah, free. We're ready in Advance.
13-6 UTEP leads. Steve Crackthorpe has done an excellent job at Tulsa, and there have been some reports this week in North Carolina indicating that he might be a candidate for the now vacant North Carolina job. John Bunting fired by the Tar Heels. He will coach the remaining games for North Carolina this year. Crackthorpe's name has been mentioned along with West Virginia's Rich Rodriguez. Former Miami and Cleveland Browns coach Butch Davis's name has also been mentioned. Davis's agent says Butch would be interested. Johnny Lee Higgins is deep and wide open. He's got it inside the 30 and breaks away from a defender. Inside the 10 and a UTEP touchdown. A 69-yard touchdown pass, Palmer to Higgins.
You talk about a receiver knowing their quarterback so well. Higgins, as fast as he is, knew that the ball was late coming out, so he slowed down so he wouldn't outrun Jordan's arm. Now, Jordan gets hit as he throws here, but Higgins slows down to allow the ball to get to him so he didn't overrun it, and now it's just a matter of speed.
So UTEP, a team that got outscored in the second half 24-0 to Houston last week, now lead 20-6 on Tulsa. Let's say hello to our buddy Rod Gilmore, who joins us via phone in Southern California. Rod's doing the Washington State-UCLA game tomorrow on ABC. How you doing, Rod?
I'm doing okay, but Higgins is doing a lot better, man. He's having a night.
Yeah, he interrupted our Friday night debate, which we can now get to after that UTEP touchdown. We're going to start with you, Rod. Should head coaches be fired in the middle of a season? That's our debate tonight.
No, I don't think so. I understand all the reasons why schools want to do it for recruiting, for their fan base and the like, but the number one priority for a school should be its current players, the scholarship players and the walk-on players, and what they bring to that program. And when you fire the coach mid-season, you throw that team under the bus. They don't have a goal to play for. You leave nothing out there but individual goals, maybe chasing statistics, playing for a new coach, and those things. And that just makes it harder down the line. It doesn't create any team unity. I say you let the coach finish out the season without firing him. If you have to do something, do it at the end of the season.
All right, Trevor, your take.
Well, I think those are all really good points. I think whether you fire a coach during the season or at the end, it's still tumultuous and it's still tough for everybody. But I think there are times when it is appropriate. Look at Florida when they fired Ron Zook. During the season, it gave them time and a jump to work on hiring Urban Meyer. Look at UNC now, their opportunity. If they want to look at Butch Davis, they'll have an opportunity to get him locked in or not before the season ends.
Moss takes the kick for Tulsa, and he's going to get tagged at the 24-yard line. You can go to ESPN.com, keyword Friday Night Debate, and vote on whether head coaches should be fired mid-season. There is a penalty flag down on the play. Rod says no, they shouldn't. Trevor says yes, in certain circumstances, it's okay. Rod, what's your reply to Trev's take?
Well, obviously, one of the reasons that people do the firing mid-season is to get that jump to hire the hot coach that's out there. I just think that the number one priority ought to be how you treat the players that you bring on campus and the promises that you made to them, and to give them a worthwhile experience. And to really fire a coach mid-season for anything other than a real serious violation of law or school policies or the like, I think it's mixing up your priorities.
It was a personal foul, by the way, on UTEP on that kick. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, Rod, see, that's a great point. That's a great point. The problem that I see, though, is that in some circumstances, if there's a coach you're targeting, look at Butch Davis. If Butch Davis wants to go to North Carolina, he's going to sign now. If he doesn't want to go to North Carolina, better they learn now so they don't waste time and lose other potential candidates at the end of the season. So there are some advantages.
Rod, thanks for your time, buddy. Enjoy the game tomorrow night.
Hey, see you guys pretty soon. Have fun.
All right, Rod.
Rod Gilmore, normally joining us on Fridays, will be on the call of the Washington State-UCLA game tomorrow on ABC. Play fake for Smith, going to the sideline through the hands of Moss. Incomplete.
Well, keep in mind now UTEP's history during this season, and it's been to really collapse in the second half. Even in winning streaks, they won 3 games in a row where they almost lost big leads in the second half and barely held on to win. And so Tulsa is not out of this thing. They need to keep plugging away and hope that UTEP plays true to form based on what they've done this year.
2nd and 10 from the Tulsa 39. And a great gap over the middle as Dials takes it past midfield to the 47-yard line for a gain of about 14 and a Tulsa first down. Braxton Amy with a tackle downfield.
For Jeff Bryant at center, Justin Morsey at right guard open a huge hole right up the middle. But as you look at the score and you look at the time, there's no rush from Tulsa. They're not hurrying in and out of the huddle. If they keep doing what they're doing here, they can come back.
Well, coming into this game, UTEP outscored in the second half 129-83 this year. But outscoring Tulsa in the third quarter 7-0. Tenale gets the carry straight ahead to the 43 for a gain of 4. You know, back to our Friday night debate question of whether coaches should be fired mid-season, you would have to think that it would be easier with North Carolina's situation, giving John Bunning's relationship with the program, that as we look at the votes, 56% of the 51,000 voted say yes, they should be fired mid-season. 44% of you say no, but you know, Bunning is going to be more than happy to coach the remainder of the year at his school, North Carolina, as opposed to maybe somewhere else where it might be harder to make that decision because you don't have someone tied to the program. Moss on the end around to the 42-yard line. UTEP not fooled on that play. Palavo made the stick.
Well, Dave, one of the reasons North Carolina cited for this move at this time is that questions about the future of John Bunting had become a big distraction. It was no longer about the team, and it wasn't about the players. It was about, will he be fired at the end of the year? Will he be fired now? What's happening with all this? And so a distraction was there. The choice wasn't between distraction and no distraction. It was the current distraction or the distraction of playing with a lame duck coach.
It's probably, you know, some people would say harder on the athletic director to make the decision because of his relationship with Bunting, and then also asking him to coach the rest of the season when he knows he's not going to be around next year. Smith with a pump fake and then fires complete to Johnson to the 30-yard line for the Tulsa first down. We mentioned in those reports this week that Crackthorpe is a candidate in North Carolina, according to sources. Here are some other rising head coaches. Greg Schiano at Rutgers. You'll see them on Sunday night against Connecticut on ESPN. Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia. Paul Johnson at Navy. And Chris Peterson at Boise State.
Well, Rodriguez makes a lot of sense for North Carolina. He coached at Clemson. He's got the kind of offense that North Carolina has recruited to with a running quarterback, but West Virginia, I don't think, will let him go very easily.
I think it'll be interesting if Bobby Bowden does not return at Florida State. Does Rich Rodriguez's name come up there? Dials gets the carry, and he's got room. Taken down from behind by Demps at the 18-yard line. Good drive by Tulsa. They've had 2 lengthy drives already tonight, and on both occasions had to settle for field goals.
And they keep going over right guard, number 53, Justin Morsey. They're opening huge holes. Now, that time, Morsey kind of whiffed, but got enough of a piece of the defensive lineman that he fell down and couldn't make the tackle in the backfield. Sometimes it pays to be lucky, and when you're dominating your opponent, even when you don't get a good block, you still can open a hole.
First down to the 18-yard line. They continue to rotate running backs. Teneo is back into the game. He'll get it up the gut. And nosedive to the 15-yard line for 3 yards. Spence on the stop. A lot of votes on that Friday night debate tonight, and that is a big issue, the firing of head coaches. Rod had the point that he feels it shouldn't be done, and in the pros it is done a lot, but that in collegiate athletics he doesn't think that there's a place for it. We've seen occasions where a head coach at one school gets named as the head coach at another school and continues to coach at the prior school. 8th play of the drive for Tulsa. Out into the flat to Moss. Trying to get to the outside, and he's run out of play, and then a flag flies at the 13-yard line.
Well, then we talked about the efficiency of Paul Smith, and this is a great example. The fake handoff, and then the ball's out of his hand. And it all happens super fast. And if it doesn't, Moss doesn't have enough time to even get to the corner, much less to the sideline.
Personal foul, face mask, the defense. Penalty half the distance, automatic first down.
Third personal foul on UTEP. Let's check it out here. Emery Spence, oh yeah, turn the mask.
Yeah, that wasn't even necessary. Often you see that in the course of a normal tackle when you're reaching for a guy that's just beyond your ability to actually hit him. And that time, he was right there. That was not a good face mask call. Not that there ever is one, but there are understandable.
No plays in opponent's territory for UTEP so far in the quarter, although they do have a touchdown. First down and goal at the 6. Teneo, stutter step at the 5, pinballs to the 1, and down there. Demps eventually made the tackle. Good hard run by Courtney Teneo. Former Oklahoma Sooner who redshirted there in 2003. Did not play in 04, transferred, barely played last year.
56 center Aaron Dannenhauer clears the way in the middle, sustains his block, doesn't drive his opponent down the field, but his opponent cannot release from the block to make a play.
Second down and goal at the 1. Teneo will get it again on the pitch. And he's going to get dragged down back at the 5-yard line by Emery Spence, who's playing a whale of a game. He's recovered a fumble, and he's made a couple of stops in the backfield.
UTEP doesn't at all fight on another run up the middle. You would think with the success that Tulsa has had right up the gut that Tulsa would commit linebackers and safeties inside. They did not. They committed their defense to the edges that time, anticipated.
What's the call here, Trev? Stick with the run or go to the air?
Now, here I think you need to use the talents of your all-star quarterback, Paul Smith. You need to roll him out. So I expect UTEP to blitz off the edges to try to stop that.
Question is, are you in 4-down territory yet? Down 2 touchdowns. A lot of time left, though. 4 minutes to go in the third. Smith to throw. Fires end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Tulsa. Donnie Johnson with the grab in the back of the end zone. So Paul Smith rebounds after those first half errors and gets Tulsa's first touchdown of the game. The extra point is good. 12 TD pass by Smith. Second receiving touchdown for Johnson.
This play broke down. He can't throw on rhythm. And he jumps in the air. And going forward with his feet flailing out behind him, throws this ball just like he was coached.
Looked like Tebow a little bit at Florida on that play. Tulsa within 7 points.
Friday. It's casual day, so hopefully you're taking full advantage. If that's not enough, it's only 3 days till Brady faces the new Purple People Eaters. 3 days till the Patriots battle the Vikings at 8:30.
The
College Game Day Apparel Collection. Available now.
Things that make you go, Things that make you go,
It's Papa John's new Sausage Sensation Pizza. This new 6-topping taste sensation is loaded with spicy Italian, new smoked, and sweet sausages, plus fresh cut onions and red and green peppers. Now, for a limited time, get a large 6-topping Sausage Sensation Pizza for just $11.99. $11.99. Call now or order online.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
things that make you go,
Go.
What would it take
You have to ask your husband some questions.
for an ordinary man
What kind of man are you?
to catch fire?
Once you decide to fight back, everything is different.
I want to go on. Catch a Fire is an explosive real-life thriller packed with suspense,
Are you ready to die? Yes, come on!
heart-pounding excitement, and a great human story.
Getting west.
Catch a Fire, rated PG-13.
Using only my City Premier Pass credit card, I earn rewards points crazy fast, and I will do it restrained with this restraining device. I start with the points for buying my ticket and Victor's ticket, then earn points for my miles and his. Unbelievable! Using only the City Premier Pass credit card, I rock the house. Big time. Rewarding. Very, very, very rewarding.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by ESPN Game Plan. Maximum college football. To order, call your pay-per-view provider or log on to ESPN.com, search Game Plan. And Papa John's. Order pizza online 24 hours a day at papajohns.com.
Bayless Plaza, home of the Bell Tower on the campus of the University of Tulsa. Also known as TU, even though it's the University of Tulsa, smallest Division I school in the nation. Just under 2,800 undergraduate students. Great job by Tulsa, failing on the 4th and 1, then giving up that 69-yard touchdown pass to Higgins, and then an 11-play drive engineered by Paul Smith and company, and a touchdown pass by Smith to Johnson. 20-13, UTEP leads, and Higgins ready perhaps to do some more damage. They try to kick it away from him. Instead, he comes up to get it at the 9. Higgins past the 20. Got the speed if he can get to the outside, but not enough room. Ran out of play at the 29.
Well, Higgins has faced every kind of coverage imaginable. Soft coverage where they respect his speed in man. Bracket coverage where they've had guys all over him and he's had to catch the ball in traffic. And he's run past the defense and broken tackles and gotten away. He's such a great athlete, Dave, that in spring training a couple of years ago, there was a morning scrimmage. He caught 6 passes. That same afternoon, he won the WAC championship in the long jump at the WAC track meet.
First down to the 29. Palmer looking to set up the screen. And it's an offensive lineman, Cousins, that makes the catch, and that's illegal touching. Offensive lineman cannot touch a forward pass. And that should be on Palmer, right? He shouldn't throw that ball. Although, good catch by the big guy.
That's a thrill for the big guy. Well, he looks the defense off to the right, which he should do. But why on earth is the offensive lineman? Why is he looking back at the quarterback? He should be looking at the defense. Cousins is watching the wrong guy. He should have hit him in the back.
Illegal touching, 75 on the offense. That penalty's declined, second down.
You know, Trev, that catch reminds me of another reception by an offensive lineman back in the day.
Must have been, offensive linemen are multi-talented. We're just slow.
Do you know who that offensive lineman is that I'm talking about?
You know, I'm starting to get an idea.
2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line. Palmer to the air, and his pass incomplete over the head of Robinson. But here's a complete pass by offensive lineman Trevor Maddich, catching the pass from Kenny O'Brien.
New York Jets, I was actually 46 now. I was actually tight end, officially. Wore number 46 that year with the Jets. After the game, I said in the locker room, thanks for throwing it. And he looked at me and said, thanks for catching it.
Now, was that your only catch? Did you have any illegal touching catches like big number 75 Daniel Cousins did?
That's my second catch of my career and my only touchdown ever. their career. That's why I say the Cousins caught the ball and it was a penalty. But if they win, it'll still be a thrilling moment for them.
You know, Trev, we've been waiting to run that all year long. They're going to reset the play clock here. Let's look at one other thing that applies to our boy here, Trevor Maddich. These are the players drafted in 1985 after Trevor Maddich. Sorry, Trev, some pretty good names there, including Herschel Walker. He wasn't bad.
Bus like that.
Andre Reed was okay. He did pretty good. Randall Cunningham, not bad.
Some of the guys in front of me, one of them was in jail. I mean, I beat some of them.
Oh, we couldn't find that list. Out of the pocket, Palmer throwing downfield, incomplete. Robinson wants a penalty flag for interference, but no hanky thrown, and it's 4th down. What hands, though, by Trevor Maddich. I got to tell you, even though you were officially a tight end, you were a center in college, played just about every position on the line in the NFL, didn't you?
Did, and that's one of the reasons I can appreciate what these offensive linemen are going through now. And so O'Neal Cousins, who caught that screen pass, if they win, that will be a highlight of his entire football career.
Moss back to receive, and they almost blocked the punt. They almost blocked a field goal earlier in the game, and it's fair caught by Idris Moss at the 38-yard line. 35-yard punt, no return. Tulsa pretty close to blocking that punt. Still, momentum has swung the way of the Golden Hurricane. They're only down 7 late in the 3rd.
How do you feel tonight? Yeah, look, I mean, you looked good. You looked like you were working very
You were fooled. Every time I dunk.
Drop 30, 40.
It fooled you.
Because you believe that was about me. While I believe phase 5, baby.
But you're not a fool, are you?
Boomer and TJ, your go-to guys for the day that was in football. The Blitz, Sunday nights in Sports Center at 11.
ESPN Monday Night Football, Mondays 5:30 Pacific.
ESPN, serving sports fans around the world.
Brought to you locally by Comerica Bank. We listen, we understand, we make it work.
For over 90 years, Elliott Homes has been leading the way. And now in Arizona, we're doing it again.
We have communities valley-wide with the right home for you and your family.
These homes are complete with all the right stuff, including landscaping, blinds, appliances, and all the extras.
And move in right now. There is no waiting. So don't you wait. These homes will sell fast.
Elliott Homes.
The right home.
Right stuff.
Right now.
Visit ElliottHomes.com.
Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Most of you will see Minnesota take on Troy Smith. And top-ranked Ohio State, others, Miami and Georgia Tech, or Nebraska and Oklahoma State at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow on ABC. Ohio State taking on a Minnesota team that has yet to win in the Big Ten. The remaining schedule for the Buckeyes before their game with Michigan: Minnesota, then at Northwestern, then at Illinois. They should be unbeaten when they take on Michigan. Wolverines play Northwestern tomorrow, then Ball State at Indiana, and then their matchup with Ohio State. Here's an end around to Moss. To the 42-yard line, about 4 yards there. Calavo made the stop for UTEP.
Well, that stop by Tulsa's defense. They are now in great position, down 1 touchdown, momentum back on their side. With the exception of 1 long touchdown pass to Higgins, this has been Tulsa's quarter. And if they can turn this drive into points, they set themselves up well for that 4th quarter run.
Tulsa comes into this game 3-0 in Conference USA. UTEP at 2-1. Smith going deep, and Moss it to himself, and it's ruled a catch inside the 30. Moss may have hurt himself on the play as well. Great diving grab with Flaskowski right in front of him.
Flaskowski turns and gets his hand on this ball, bounces it up in the air. Watch Flaskowski's right hand, number 25, he actually gets it on that ball, and that's what slows it down and makes it a soft catch on the tip.
Landed right on his right shoulder after that 31-yard reception. It is ruled a reception. And we're going to review it. Let's see here.
Watch the ball. Does he have it secured? The ball never gets on the ground. The question is, did he have it secured before his hip hits the sideline?
I think that's a catch, Trev. I think he's got control of it.
Well, the question is when he's got control of it. Because both his feet will come off the ground. Now watch the ball. Now he's got the ball in control. His shoulder hits just inside. Because both of his feet came off the ground before he got control of it. Now watch the ball. Now he's got the ball, but his feet are off the ground.
But then his feet hit the ground, and he's got possession of the ball.
Yeah, and I think his shoulder hits even before his feet. Watch his right shoulder. There's the elbow. Yeah, the elbow hits ground. One elbow equals 1 foot. And that means that this is a good catch. And he paid the price because he came down on that shoulder. Normally,
after review, the play stands. First down.
Normally, Dave, when a player falls and hits the ground, he's under some control and he can soften that blow. But the focus on the ball and the reception was so great that Moss did not focus at all on protecting himself, and he came down hard.
Now the question is, will they have Moss for the rest of the game after going down hard on that shoulder? Trainers taking a look at him on the Tulsa bench. First down from the 27 of UTEP. Tenale on the carry, down to the 23. Got 4. Justin Watson made the stop. Give Tulsa and quarterback Paul Smith a lot of credit, Trev. Early this quarter, after getting stopped on a 4th and 1, deep in UTEP territory, and a quick strike 69-yard touchdown pass by Jordan Palmer to Johnny Lee Higgins. Tulsa comes right back, marches down the field, gets a score to pull within 7. And here they are again on the move with the ball at the 23. But their best player, their best receiver, I should say, Idris Moss, is on the sideline being looked at. 2nd and 6. Giles gets it this time. Powers to the 20. 3 yards shy of the first down. 3rd down coming up. Justin Honnell made the tackle.
Well, we'll see what Steve Cragthorpe wants. Offensive coordinator Charlie Stubbs will call some long passes like we saw there to Moss on that play. He got injured, but typically what they want to do is grind it out. Be efficient, control the clock. Without Moss there, it makes it difficult to get yards after the catch because he's the guy that can make people miss. But still, when we saw the long touchdown pass to Johnny Lee Higgins from Jordan Palmer from UTEP, that's a one-strike thing, but that doesn't happen often. This kind of a grinding attack you can sustain.
Moss going into the locker room for further evaluation. 3rd down and 3. Toss sweep to Tenale, and he gets hit short of the first down marker at the 22 by Emery Spence. As again, you look at Moss going to the locker room. Have that shoulder looked at, and there's another player down. This is Donnie Johnson, another of Tulsa's top receivers, and he has the touchdown catch this half for Tulsa.
Well, you can. This hurts because they have to be able to spread the field in order for the running game to go. They would prefer to win this game on the ground and with play action pass. Top of your screen, number 9 in blue. That's Johnson. Now he throws a block and he's okay there, but now he's just standing around. And the whole thing, what happened?
Wow,
Wow. That initial hit must have been what did it, and it took him a while to react, sort of a delayed reaction. He looked okay after the initial hit, but then he just collapsed.
It's scary whenever you see a guy go down like that. When it's a delayed reaction to it, it's pretty scary.
He's going to be at the top of the screen, just off the screen. And here he is right there, number 9. Now look at him. He looks like he's fine. And all of a sudden...
And the good news is he's up on his feet now, and he's walking under his own power to the sideline. He ran into Alfonso Awelua.
Well, Dave, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to speculate on the nature of the injury, but I've never seen that before, where a guy has that kind of a delayed reaction.
That's great news to see him up off his feet under his own power, walking to the sideline after that reaction. Now it's 4th down, and Tulsa is going to try a field goal. Jared Tracy is 2 out of 2 today. He's made from 32 and 40. This will be a 39-yard try. Three more points for Tulsa, and the Golden Hurricane is within 4. Jared Tracy 3 out of 3 tonight on field goal tries. But greater issues for Tulsa right now. Concerns over 2 of their top receivers. One of them, Idris Moss, has already gone to the locker room for further evaluation, and now they're checking out Donnie Johnson after getting hurt on that 3rd down play.
Tulsa undefeated in Conference USA play. UTEP lost to Houston last week. Tulsa wants to solidify their position as the front runner for the West Division. UTEP, if they lose this game, probably don't have a shot at the Conference USA Championship game.
But if UTEP wins, a 3-way tie atop the Western Division with Houston and Tulsa. Tomorrow, Tennessee and South Carolina on ESPN at 7:45 Eastern. Can Steve Spurrier beat Philip Fulmer again? He's 8-3 against him, but Tennessee has won 6 in a row in Columbia. Great game last year. South Carolina won it in Knoxville 16-15.
I'm interested to see how South Carolina quarterback Seville Newton will play. Wide receiver moved over to quarterback, and his experience as a receiver has helped him as a passer because he reads the defense as a receiver would.
Tracy booting it away. Johnny Lee Higgins waits for it inside the 10-yard line. Higgins trying to find a hole, and it's not there. UTEP will start at the 25 as Tulsa's done a pretty good job covering kicks, both kickoffs and punts tonight. 9 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tulsa has scored the last 10 points to pull within 4 of UTEP. And now a wide receiver for the other team. A little shaken up. Johnny Lee Higgins holding his left wrist. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Clock starts on a change of possession. UTEP will have it when we start the 4th, leading by 4.
Wednesday with a doubleheader. Coverage begins at 7.
Open your door to the nut that's been famously fresh for 100 years. Planters.
Kanaichi something.
It's pronounced konnichiwa.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to Japan. You ever been?
I was made in Japan.
Ooh, it's a small world.
Why aren't you at the post office?
I'm being picked up.
What are you, special or something?
As a matter of fact, I am. Peace out.
Sayonara.
The post office comes to you with free package pickup.
Welcome to Lowe's. Can I help you?
Yes. I need some of that,
garland?
Yes. And how about one of those, you know, I can see it in...
A wreath?
Yes. And I also need one of those with the people and the snow.
Giant inflatable snow globe.
In the nose.
Rudolph and friends inside?
Yes.
At Lowe's, you'll find plenty of everything you need for the holidays,
Ornament hook?
including plenty of help.
About this high.
Your husband?
Yes.
Right behind you.
Hey, got one of these,
Warner step ladders.
Lowe's, let's build something together.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV for the ultimate high-def football experience. Circuit City makes it simple. That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, get no interest for 18 months on all TVs $4.99 and up. Plus, get up to 10% off TVs, only at Circuit City.
Introducing the new Family Value Meal from Pizza Hut. Start with 2 medium pizzas topped any way you want them. Add breadsticks and cinnamon sticks and a 2-liter of Pepsi, all for $19.99. You always get more when you go for the good stuff.
Woo! This group, come on! Woo!
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UTEP blew a halftime lead and lost to Houston last week. How will the Miners do in the second half this week? Well, they had a touchdown early in the third quarter to take a 20-6 lead, but Tulsa scored 10 unanswered points. UTEP ball as we start the fourth from its 25. Jordan Palmer, younger brother of Carson Palmer, throws a pick, intercepted by Chamberlain, and he's got a Tulsa touchdown. There is a penalty flag down, but it's ruled a touchdown for Tulsa. And the penalty is against UTEP. It's declined. Tulsa takes the lead. Karatapian got pressure on Palmer. Palmer, who led the country in interceptions last year, throws his 11th pick in 2006, and it's a costly one. Chamberlain with his second INT this year. And Tulsa has scored 17 in a row to take a 23-20 lead.
Palmer has successfully delivered accurate passes all game long under pressure. Karatapian comes in and hits him just before he releases the ball. All game long, Dave, Palmer has delivered accurate passes under these circumstances. This one, his luck ran out. And he's like, oh my goodness. High risk, high reward quarterback. He'll make spectacular plays, but then he'll make a play like that. And Mike Price, he knows what he's got there. And he's got to live with that because they're going to need him to make the positive plays down the field.
Palmer is second among active players in touchdown passes behind Chris Leak, but he is the leader among active quarterbacks in interceptions.
And part of that is because it's a down-the-field throwing offense. It's not a dink-and-dunk offense, and he's completing almost 70% of his passes in that deep passing game, which is really remarkable. But those kinds of plays come up with Jordan Palmer.
And now we'll get to see the resolve of Jordan Palmer, perhaps. Can he rebound after that interception return for a touchdown? Johnny Lee Higgins back to receive the kick. They've kicked it at Higgins all night long, but they've done a pretty good job against him. He gets to the outside here and up to about the 32, but penalty flags fly. 2 of them. Kedrick Alexander made the special teams tackle.
We talk about the resilience now of Palmer.
During the return, holding the return team, 10-yard penalty was by the foul, first down.
At the beginning of the game, we talked about how this game would come down to which style of quarterback would prevail. Efficiency or fireworks, and the fireworks need to come now.
In the last 4 games, UTEP has really struggled in the second half. And we mentioned last week against Houston, they were leading by 7 at the break, got outscored 24-0. in the second half. When you're playing against New Mexico State, SMU, Tulane, you can probably get away with not playing your best football in the second half and still win, but not against Houston and not against Tulsa, a team that's 6-1 coming into tonight. A rare running play here in the second half to Marcus Thomas, and he goes nowhere. UTEP, prior to tonight, in 3 road games, averaging 30 rushing yards, and they have 33 tonight.
Dave, that's one of the reasons that UTEP has lost so many leads. Mike Price told us that the personality of this team is that it doesn't have a killer instinct. They don't put teams away in the second half like he wants them to. Part of the reason is they can't run the ball, pound out the clock in the second half.
There's a UTEP player down at the 15-yard line. That's Tyler Rabitsky, the right tackle. Well, we mentioned that the 2 Tulsa receivers got hurt on the previous drive for the Golden Hurricane. With an update there, let's go to Tina Dixon.
Well, thanks, Dave. And I'm staring at Johnson right now. He is still on the sideline. However, Moss has ran off the sideline or off the field to get further evaluated. Now, when they both came off the field, they checked their shoulders. Johnson, the left shoulder, Moss, the right shoulder. They checked for range of motion as well as a strength test. But right now I'm staring at Johnson. He's got his helmet in his hand. It looks like he's going to be back out on the field.
It appears that Moss will not, though, as Moss has his right arm in a sling and a sweatshirt on, so he's done for the day.
Well, Moss, in making a great catch, lands on his shoulder and takes one for the team. Now, Johnson is a 5'9" wide receiver, and he threw a block into defensive lineman Alfonso Awelua. Nice block, but just from the standpoint of physics, he got the worst of it.
On 2nd and 9, Palmer to the air, moving to the near side. And shoved out a play by Karatapian at the 20. That's a 5-yard pickup. Big third down here, Trev, for UTEP to try to get momentum back and keep Tulsa's offense, which has played much better here in the second half on the sideline.
Big third down, and number 64, Colby Meek, at right tackle on the left of your screen there, makes a nice block. But that was on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and down in a passing situation. And let's see how the freshman Meek, who's cold off the bench, blocks in this critical situation.
Meek replacing the injured Tyler Rabitsky. Third down and 5. Here comes a blitz up the middle. Palmer in trouble. Incomplete. Chris Chamberlain had the interception return for a touchdown, put pressure on Palmer.
What a play call by Tulsa. The running back was lined up on the right to protect the freshman tackle Colby Meek, who's in for the injured Tyler Rabitsky. They blitz up the middle. Thomas is here. He's on the outside. The blitz will come here where Thomas would normally be, because they felt that he needed to help the new right tackle.
So 4th down, and with Idris Moss on the bench, there's a new punt returner at the 40-yard line. Charles Davis signaling for the fair catch, and he muffed it. Ball loose at the 47-yard line. And it will stay Tulsa football. A major scare survived by the Golden Hurricane as Davis comes on for the injured Moss. On his first punt return attempt, he muffs it. But luckily for Tulsa, it's recovered by a teammate.
The punt was short, and he runs into his own man there. And I think he gets confused and distracted. Hard enough to catch a punt, Dave, when you're on the move. A lot harder when there's traffic to avoid.
Talking about cold off the bench. Davis coming in trying to get a return. Here's an end around on 1st down and 10. And great balance on the near side by Taylor. Finally tackled at the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 3 on the play. Jason McQuaid made the stop. The break starting to go Tulsa's way, though. They get the interception return for a touchdown. Then redshirt freshman Charles Davis on the punt return attempt muffs it, but Tulsa recovers.
And how does UTEP avoid here we go again itis? You look at the defense's body language when they're standing there. You look at Mike Price's body language. It's like, we've been here before. We've lost second half leads before. Oh no.
20th play this half in UTEP territory for Tulsa. The Miners have not run a play in Tulsa territory, although they do have an offensive touchdown. Here's Dials off the left side to the 39. Going to come up about a yard shy of the first down. Quentin Demps made the tackle. Third down and short coming up.
You know, I'm watching the body language of the UTEP players. They're not animated. They're just standing there. Hands are on hips. Nobody's even moving. And this is the time when you'd have senior leadership say, look, it's 3rd and short, everybody. Let's get fired up. This is where defenses get fired up, and they're just standing there in their shoes.
3rd down and 1 at the UTEP 39. Huge 3rd down here for UTEP's defense. Can they make a stop? No, they can't. Teneo off the left side gets the first down to the 37. Calavo on the tackle, but too late. It's been a struggle for UTEP in the second half all year in terms of finishing games. That was the case at times last year, especially at the end of the season for the Miners. Again, Mike Price said this is like a championship game for us. They lose this game, they're more than likely out of the Western Division race of Conference USA because Tulsa would be 4-0. UTEP would be 2-2. And look at the time of possession in the second half. Tulsa with the ball for almost 10 minutes longer than UTEP. Smith on the roll up, going to the end zone. Kaiser is there, incomplete, but a penalty flag down. Two of Smith's top targets injured. He goes to somebody else. Goes for Kaiser, almost made the catch, but the penalty is against Tulsa. We've only had 8 penalties combined in this game. We had 0 for the first 25 minutes or so tonight.
All of a sudden, Tulsa's
interference, 18 on the offense. The 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
We have an offensive pass interference, Trev, and our buddy Rod Gilmore isn't here to witness it.
He would love it. Well, this is how separation occurs. You get a little push off there, right there. And that's where the separation happens. Now, they were pushing and grabbing. Tisdale grabbed Kaiser's jersey and pulled it out. But they were in close proximity until Kaiser pushed off of Tisdale's chest. And that's what created the separation that allowed the ball to drop. Good call.
Now an opportunity for UTEP with a 1st and 25 for Tulsa. They fake the end around, and Smith dumps it off to Teneo. And he gets to the 47-yard line. Got a handful back. McQuay on the stop.
UTEP's defense has an opportunity now. With that penalty, 1st and 25, if they can stop them here with no points, they'll have a long field to go, but they'll have plenty of time to do it. If Tulsa scores a touchdown here, UTEP is going to be in trouble.
UTEP coming into this game 115th in the nation in pass defense, but done a pretty good job on Paul Smith, holding the pass attack for Tulsa to 132 yards. And Smith has turned it over twice, but not in the second half. 2nd and 20. Smith pulls in the high snap, setting up the screen. Teneo with blockers in front. Inside the 30-yard line. To the 10, and tackled at the 8-yard line by Alex Obamis.
Number 9, Donnie Johnson, is back in the game, and he throws the key block. He'll come in from the left of the screen and flash across, and he walls off Troy Calavo, and that's what springs this long run.
39-yard screen pass and a 1st down and goal. That was a 2nd down and 20 play. Ball at the UTEP 8. Tanae will get it on the ground. Gets stacked up at the 6-yard line. Justin Honnold with a big hit. Gain of 2.
Well, Mike Price went from arms at the side to both hands on his card that he had to there, arms folded. And I think he realized what that looks like. Now he's got his hands back up on his hips and opened up his body language a bit. The team is going to be looking to him.
If UTEP can hold Tulsa to a field goal, it's still a 1-possession game. Touchdown makes it a 2-possession game. Play action. Smith has an open man. Caught at the 2-yard line by Ted Curtis, a tight end who normally is featured in Steve Crackthorpe's offense, but not tonight. Went his first catch of the game. Spence on the tackle, short of the goal line, so it's 3rd down and goal.
Now the headset's off. He doesn't even want to hear X's and O's at this point.
Well, he's told us in our conversation with him this week that he spent a lot more time with the defense this year, especially in training camp. 3rd down and goal at the 1 for Tulsa. Tanail is the running back. He gets it. Tanail diving, and he's in. Touchdown, Tulsa.
This is just power football. Looks like he stopped short, but nobody has got a hold of it. And when he comes down, that ball is across the plane.
Jared Tracy on for the point after. It was 20-6 UTEP after a 69-yard pass play. But it's been all Tulsa since. Golden Hurricane by 10.
Pressure, enemy of engines. Enemy of pressure, Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic, with adaptive molecules that continually join forces to help conquer pressure. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
The world is advancing, faster and faster. Are you in or out? Introducing the all-new 7-passenger Acura MDX. Technology takes it to a whole new place. Acura. Advance.
Yeah. I know.
No.
Oh. I see. Yeah, great.
Well, she wants a KFC famous bowl. You know, layers of her favorites. Mashed potatoes, corn, chicken, gravy, and cheese, all in a bowl.
Try new KFC famous bowls, freshly prepared with our home-style mashed potatoes, layered with sweet corn, all white meat, crispy chicken, and topped with our signature gravy and 3-cheese blend. Dig into great layers of flavor with KFC famous bowls.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
24 straight points by Tulsa after trailing at halftime. And it's a 10-point lead. An 8-play, 48-yard drive. The key play on that drive, a 39-yard pass play on 2nd and 20.
And then look at that sequence. You have Jordan Palmer intercepted, brought back for a touchdown. Then UTEP goes 3 and out on the next series, which gives Tulsa good field position, which they turn into a second touchdown.
I think it's just surprising after On 4th down, Tulsa didn't get it. UTEP comes right back in the next play with that long touchdown pass to Higgins to make it 20-6, but Tulsa did not give in. Nice play on special teams as they get Higgins again at the 21. Alexander on the tackle.
Well, the second half, it's been all Tulsa, and it's been all athletes making plays. Pressure on Palmer. Chamberlain gets the interception, takes it in. That's athletes. And then a terrific jump by Tenale to get over for that second touchdown.
Well, Steve Crackthorpe told us yesterday that they're all about being positive. Their sideline's very positive, how they speak to the players. And you would assume he did not get down on his guys after it was 20-6. And perhaps a second straight Conference USA title in danger. Dangerous throw by Palmer. Almost intercepted by Alexander. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that's one thing that Steve Crackthorpe used to turn this program around. Keep in mind that they won one game in each of the 2 seasons before Crackthorpe got there. Everything around here was negative. Look at Jordan Palmer's numbers, totally different from first half to second half in terms of efficiency. But what Crackthorpe said was, even if things are 95% bad, we're going to focus on the 5% that's good. He lifted everybody's attitude, and we see that here. When they were down 20-6, they didn't quit.
How does Jordan Palmer respond on 2nd and 10? It's caught by Higgins to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 8. If UTEP is going to come back and win this game, you would assume that Palmer and Higgins would have something to do with it.
I think that's just about the only shot they've got is Palmer and Higgins. That's been pretty much the entire offense anyway.
It's a 10-point game midway through the 4th quarter in Tulsa. Dave Pash, Trevor Matich, Tina Dixon. If UTEP wins, it's a 3-way tie in the Western Division of Conference USA. But if Tulsa wins, then the Golden Hurricane at 4-0, 7-1 overall could find themselves in the top 25. They were 25th in the initial BCS standings 2 weeks ago. Not in the standings last week. They could return if they can hang on to beat UTEP here tonight. Big 3rd down and 2. Play fake. Palmer with a man in his face, and it's dropped by Sears. He would have had a first down. And UTEP will punt it away on 4th and 2. Walter Boyd was right in the face of Jordan Palmer.
Athletes need to execute. Tulsa has made amazing plays that you wouldn't expect when you draw them up. UTEP has made plays like that.
Donnie Johnson back to return after Davis muffed the punt. Remember, Moss is out with an injury, and Johnson with the fair catch at the 33-yard line. Tulsa leading by 10. 7:12 to go in the 4th quarter. Hey, Trevor, these guys late for their tea time at Southern Hills Country Club here in Tulsa? We'll tell you the full story about this when we come back.
There were 2 options. Change the road or change the SUV. Introducing the Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. Technology takes it to a whole new place. Acura. Advance.
So, what kind of financial help are you looking for? Maybe you need insurance to help protect you. Benefits to help your business reach new heights. Or a retirement plan to invest for the future. Then again, maybe there's someone who can help with all of those things. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
Show your team colors, game day and every day, with the official ESPN College Game Day Apparel Collection. Available now.
ESPN Monday Night Football, Mondays 5:30 Pacific.
ESPN, serving sports fans around the world. Brought to you locally by Comerica Bank. We listen, we understand, we make it work.
Phoenix Golf Travel and Leisure Expo, October 28th and 29th at Cardinal Stadium, showcasing the latest trends, products, and services for Arizona's active lifestyle. 10 hitting bays set up inside Cardinal Stadium where you can test the latest equipment with Ping, Callaway, Nike, and more. Test your putting skills on several greens showcased throughout the expo. Check out your swing at Golf Tech's interactive display. Instructional seminars hosted by Kent Chase Golf Academy, travel seminars to local and exotic destinations. For more information, go to phoenixgolfexpo.com. This is the big one. Don't miss it.
Now.
ESPN2's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Acura, Advance, and the Principal Financial Group. We'll give you an edge.
Tulsa off to its best start since 1982, trying to improve to 7-1 and 4-0 in Conference USA, leading 30-20, and they have the football with 7:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's been a tough second half for UTEP quarterback Jordan Palmer, the younger brother of Cincinnati Bengal QB Carson Palmer. He's been pressured all night long, but especially here in the second half.
And one of those pressures led to an interception return for a touchdown.
He's been sacked 3 times as well. So first down for Tulsa at its 33-yard line. And a running play on first down to nail into the secondary. Gets close to 10 yards. Hey, Trevor, who needs a Hummer? I got something better for you. How about the Hammer? The Hammermobile. John Hamister Reese, along with Jeff Parrott and Jeff Bryant, says what a lot of times they ride to school in a golf cart that's 24 years old.
There's almost 1,000 pounds of offensive linemen on that. You think the coach is a little bit paranoid that if they flip over, they're in a whole lot of trouble. There's a horn on that thing. You painted it black to make it sleek. And on that last play, Hamister Reese pancaked Justin Hunnell, so he's deserved it.
First down at the 43. Running play to Taylor this time, and he gets to midfield. Gain of about 7. Now, you're a former college offensive lineman at BYU. What was the weirdest thing that you rode around in campus?
My sneakers. I drove a Volkswagen Rabbit. Hamister Reese just figured it would be easier to get around. And so it was cheaper than gas. And the funny thing is, he's a pretty huge guy. At 6 foot 6 inches tall, 310, he says he fits better in that golf cart than he does in a car. It's easier to get in and out of, and it's just very comfortable for him.
Come on, you had a moped.
No, actually I did in high school, but I would have loved to have had a golf cart. Because offensive linemen, whether it's training camp or anywhere else, a golf cart is gold bricks to an O-lineman.
It's been cold this week, too. They're riding around in that thing. Second and short, first man through to the 49-yard line. Going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Tenale tackled by McQuay. Third down and 2. Mike Price needs a stop here with his team down 10. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, but they got to get the football back.
Well, 5 minutes to go. This is also a place where the new timing rules where they start the clock on the ready for play on change of possession. Coaches tell us that the last 5 minutes of the game just melt away because of that. This is a huge stop because of that.
This could be the game right here. Tulsa picks up the first down. Smith going to throw. Smith trying to get away from Calavo, and a nice open field tackle by the UTEP middle linebacker. Calavo makes the play, and it's fourth down.
Timeout, UTEP. First timeout of the half.
So 2 timeouts remaining for UTEP. 4:44 to go in the game. Tulsa has yet to send out its punt team. Mike Price needed a stop on third down. He got one. His team trails by 10.
Friday. It's casual day, so hopefully you're taking full advantage. If that's not enough, it's only 3 days till Brady faces the new Purple People Eaters. 3 days till the Patriots battle the Vikings at 8:30.
Call Jennifer. Display map. 72 degrees.
The newly refined Acura TL, where technology enhances performance, comfort, and life.
there are no boring drives. Acura. Advance.
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's a textural taste sensation. To get crunchy, chewy, and cheesy, think outside the bun.
I live for speed. You're running on empty. You gotta be in it for the long haul. Now that guy has the right idea. Let's keep going, buddy.
Look for special savings from Energizer on Cars DVD at participating retailers. Rated G.
Dropped ball. Now, he did spend some time on the phone. The team starting to pump each other up, and Palmer right now looking very intense and focused.
There was the interception that he threw to Chris Chamberlain, which gave Tulsa a 23-20 lead. Palmer, a senior. Trying to lead UTEP back, down 10. On second down, has a man over the middle. And it's Morrow who gets the first down out to the 33-yard line. 2 timeouts remaining for UTEP.
But Palmer has played a good game. That one interception wasn't a bad decision in terms of his progressions, trying to force the ball in. It was that he thought he could overpower the defense again, and he couldn't.
Palmer, long throw. It's caught by Joe West, and he stays in bounds. Forward progress stopped at the 40-yard line by Nick Graham. And the clock continues to run.
The defense will be focused on Johnny Lee Higgins at this point. That's why he's spreading it around to other people. But he'll have to go to Higgins if they want to get down the field.
West could have gotten out of bounds, though. Stop the clock. Not wasted 20 seconds. Palmer on second down. Higgins gets the first down. Clock will stop for the moment to move the chains. Tackled by Anthony.